want to thank me.
To all the young people out there.
I'm here because of you.
How do I get rich?
You're going to suffer the difficulty of being invisible.
400 trillion to
I'm this million nobody.
But it's more important to be nice.
No, you should be capable of it.
Until I started winning.
Cause on a mission, your worst enemy is idle time.
Yo, Idle Time Podcast. We're back again, and we're here with a fucking legend. One of my favorite people on the planet. Not just because he's a fighter, he's one of the greatest person I've ever met. We have the legend, the Iceman, Chuck Liddell. Thank you for coming out, my guy.
Thanks, man.
Appreciate it. We definitely got one of the only time you ever see a podcast completely powered by Cybertrucks. So everything's plugged into the Cybertrucks. It's a one-on-one. Nobody else is doing it. Most people don't have one. So imagine having two and then having the Iceman in the background. You can't beat it. So we're going to get into it. We're going to just jump right into it. Chuck, you are known as a UFC champion. You've beat up everybody in Pride. You're a great father. You've done and won everything. But before we get into the important stuff, how the hell did you lose Family Feud? That's the first one. How'd you lose to the Bella Twins?
Honestly, I don't know. We didn't do a good job. We really did not. I remember it. I forget some of the answers we had. I'm like,
yeah.
Really?
I went back and watched it, and I'm not gonna lie, you seem disappointed in some of your team's answers.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah,
the Bella Twins, honestly, they were. I don't know if they studied beforehand, but those twins from the WWE, they were on fire. Yeah, they rocked you guys.
They killed us. Yeah, that was terrible. That was a terrible performance by us.
Look, we'll blame Ryan. We'll just blame Ryan and Randy. We'll blame the natural. But it was a fun episode. You guys look at it, and you cleaned up well in your suit.
Oh, thank you.
You cleaned up well in your suit.
Yeah.
So
something about being a Mohawk, mean looking guy.
Mohawk in a suit works.
And a suit works.
All right. Well, you brung it to Mohawk, so I'm pretty sure a lot of people want to know, where did the Mohawk come from? They used to call you a video game character in some of your fights. They say you look like a video game character. How did that come to be?
Well, the Mohawk, it started with I grew up with my head shaved. My grandparents, I was raised with my grandparents, my mom, and but they required me to shave my head. My grandma, my hair was this long. You know, it's like you look like a hippie. You got your hair cut. I'm like, okay. So, they finally let me grow my hair out in high school because I had a substitute teacher in junior high.
Okay.
Comes to me and go, hey, take me out to class. I want to understand your skinhead culture.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? What are you talking about? I was confused. And I told my grandma, we don't want people to think you're a skinhead. Okay, you can grow your hair out a little bit. So I grow my hair out. So I was forced to have a haircut for a long time. I was able to grow it out. So fast forward to college, we're about to go, I think it's 21 at the time. We're going to a Slayer concert.
Okay.
And all my buddies were shaving their heads for it. The wrestlers were a bunch of meatheads.
Yeah.
Shaving their heads for it. And I'm like, I'm not shaving my head, guys. Sorry. You got to do something. So I did a mohawk. And it just kind of stuck. I kind of get into how it stuck, but it just kind of stuck.
Fast forward 20, 30 years, and it's still going. Iconic.
Yeah. It got to a point, like, I was fighting with it at kickboxing, and I was working at the bar still, throwing the guy out, had a court case coming up for it. And my lawyer had asked me to grow my hair out for the court case. And then my court case was the week after my fight. Yeah. So I went and fought. I knocked the guy out in the second round, head kick. But I didn't have my mohawk. And the promoter came at me and was like all mad at me. He's like, man, don't ever do that to me again. Don't show up without your mohawk. Because I had you on the poster, and now everyone thinks you didn't show up.
Yeah.
So I had a great fight, knockout, but fans didn't think I showed up. So to me, that was like, oh. So they were recognizing.
At this point, it's non-negotiable.
So I have to wear it so they know it's going to be me fighting. So I kept it throughout. Pereira tried to get me after my first UFC fight to get rid of my mohawks. That mohawks are played out. Just stop. That's not going to work. He was the matchmaker in the UFC back then. And I said, nah, I'm just going to keep it the way it is.
How wrong he was.
Very
How fucking wrong he was, because it worked out.
Yeah.
So you said you mentioned college. You play football, correct?
I played football my freshman year.
Freshman year?
Yeah, I played through spring ball,
What position?
middle linebacker.
Middle linebacker?
Yeah,
You're 6'2", right?
6'2", yeah.
Yeah.
About 215, 220.
Big ass white boy middle linebacker?
Yeah.
Were you fast or were you just like violent?
About 4'8", 40.
4'8", 40?
The guy who started for us I ran a 4.51. A guy behind him was like
You ran a 4.51?
4.7.
Black dude?
What?
Black dude or white dude?
Big white dude.
Big white dude ran a 4.5?
Yeah, he was a stud.
Yeah, he had to be.
Because he came from, he'd actually come from West Point. Like he was at West Point, and because we were Division II at the time, and he transferred from West Point.
Question: me and my brother were talking about this yesterday. You have, I mean, I can't confirm it, but internet only has certain things. A bar or a restaurant in Nebraska. They say you're a Cornhusker fan. What's up with the Nebraska thing?
Nebraska, I have some buddies from there that I just help invest in a bar.
Okay.
I mean, that really helped. They were trying to turn around a bar that and they did for a while. They didn't get a new name for it. Like it had a bad reputation or something. I don't know. They said, "Yeah, we have you support." Sure, I just donated some. I mean, I donated, but I mean, invested a little bit of money with them and was a part owner.
Okay,
it was cool. It was cool. I had a good time there. They always took care of me. I had a couple buddies that rode.
I was confused because we kept trying to figure out, were you born there? And like, no, it's California. And the internet's saying that you're like Nebraska college, that you're a big fan. And I'm like, well, I couldn't put you on why Nebraska out of all places on fucking earth.
One of my buddies was a big fan. Was like one of my good friends, like from Vegas, actually was a big Cornhusker fan. So when I got that, and the guys that I bartended with in college were opening those two bars out there. They had End Zone and Dillinger's out there.
Okay.
So
a question fans do want to know, the hell got you into fighting in the first place? Like to the point where you didn't know, like nobody knew what the UFC or any of this was going to be. So like what keeps you motivated to train the hard as you train? And we'll talk about the pit right now for something that might not even be anything. How does that work?
Well, part of it I loved fighting. It was kind of my way to not get. Well, let's go back. So a friend of mine, Alfie Alcaraz. If you go back, he fought Jens Poland for the first 155-pound fight, and he lost a split decision to him. See the stud. He's the guy that if there was a 125-pound class at that time, he would have been world champ because he's a great wrestler and he's a kickboxing world champ at 125. Alfie would have been a world champ at 125, but they were just starting 155s back then. So, but like I had actually gone, I was kickboxing just to keep competing. I got into kickboxing I was going to watch him kickbox.
Yeah.
I just finished wrestling in college. I was going to watch him kickbox, and his coach Nick One Kick goes to me and goes, "Hey, Chuck, Alfie says you're pretty tough. You want to fight tomorrow night?" I went, "Sure, why not?" And so they had me weigh in, and then the commission was like, he's 0-0. How many fights you have? I said none. And, so he's 0-0. You're gonna fight a guy that's 15-0. That's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
Sorry, they're not gonna let that happen. So, but he saw I was disappointed. So Nick said, "Hey, why don't you get ready, and I'll go, and I'll go home and train and get ready, and I'll put you on my next fight." I said, okay, cool. And by chance, John Ackerman was I had met him at my old karate gym, which I hadn't trained in a while. Had called me up because they had this guy, black belt, coming in to spar, and they needed someone to spar him. So they brought me in. And we came in and we did light contact. It was not really light, like kind of full contact body, no contact to head kind of stuff. And then we did some stuff with headgear and against the wall. Wall training, some weird stuff. But afterwards, my guys are, "Man, you kicked his ass." I'm thinking, what fight were you guys watching?
Yeah.
Like, and I never had anybody do that to me. I'd be able to since I was a kid, I hadn't gone into the gym and had anybody beat me. Where I consider they did better than me. They got the best
as a man felt like you took the L.
Yeah, and he'd given me his card afterwards, and I'm driving back from Vegas. I'm looking at the card and it says world champion kickboxer. hey, I got to train. I want to do this. I want to try this kickboxing thing. I'll go see him. So I went to John's house. I called him up. He said, yeah, come up and train. We went up there, and this karate guy came up. Jesus Sanchez was there. I was just the three of us. And he had us put boxing gloves on. And let's just do just hands, a spar. Now, I didn't know John's, he had like 200 amateur fights, like 20 pro boxing fights, like 30 some odd pro kickboxing fights. He proceeded to hand me a beating for 19 straight minutes. 19 straight, at the end of night, unofficially 19 straight minutes. Jesus Sanchez was timing and said, look, I can't watch this anymore. Please, can we just hit the bags? Stop. And John was like, oh man, this kid's pretty tough. So, we went down, it was raining, and John and I drove up there on a motorcycle. It started raining while we were training. And John goes, hey man, you gonna come back tomorrow? I said, yeah, I'll be here. Okay, here, take my truck. I was like, oh no, I'm fine. I get home on the motorcycle. So,
Yeah.
no, you're coming back tomorrow, right? Here, take my truck, 3 keys to a brand new truck. Okay, I was up at his house for the next 7 years. Every day for the next
Showed
7
up
years.
and ended up there for 7 years.
Yeah. And then after that, he's been my coach. He's still my coach. Like, we still do stuff together. But we weren't always at his house because in 7 years we had a gym. He had a gym. I had a gym. So we weren't always up at his house. Otherwise,
Sometimes that's how the best relationships happen. It's random.
Yeah.
It just it feels right. It works out that way.
And the funny thing that with that, go even further, I didn't realize, so probably a couple years ago, that Nick, One Kick, was the guy that got me into MMA too. He called me up. He goes, hey man, Alfie says you're a pretty good wrestler. You want to do a mixed fight? Well, sure, why not? And this was right when I was just about to get a real job. Like my grandma was really on me to get a real job. I graduated from accounting at Cal Poly.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, you're getting a real job. This is not okay. You're just having fun. And I went to John, and I'm like, John, I really, I enjoy this. I'm having a great time. But we're fighting for $500. Like, I can't just do that. We have to have a goal. If we and John was like, look, I just don't want to be a coach anymore. I just don't want to be. He didn't want to travel. He didn't want to do. He'd done all that stuff since he was a kid, and he just didn't want to do it anymore. It was funny. Now we're 20 some odd years, like 30 years later, and he's still trying to get out of it. Well, I don't want to have to go. I only got a couple. I got a couple guys that go train. He still takes
But
guys
he's still
to
doing
fights.
things. That means there's a passion behind it at that point.
Oh yeah, he loves it. But I was at that point I was thought about, and then I went and did that mixed fight, and some guy in the stands, I always forget his name, but he came up and said, hey man, do you want to fight in the UFC? Yeah, we've been talking about it for years. How do I get in? Like, he's like, yeah, I can get you in. I'll get you the next one. You're an alternate to a tournament. I got $1,000 to fight Noe Hernandez in UFC 17. I was an alternate to a tournament. That I might get to fight for $20,000. So they said 5 out of the last 7 alternates got used, and I was like, perfect. I got a good shot at getting back in. Pretty funny too. Henderson won that tournament, and he asked me in the corner because after his fight, his leg was all beat up, and he's like, man, what should I do with my leg? And I'm like, I don't think you should fight. You should probably just save it for another time, bro. I don't know if he knew I was the replacement when he asked, but I was like trying to talk him out of it. I'm like, I don't think you should fight. You should just let me do it. Like, I didn't say let me.
Look, everything worked out the way it's supposed to.
Yeah,
how was it doing was it Pride Japan in Brazil for $1,000 to show and 3 to win and traveling, cool. Trying to be a bartender?
That was my second fight. Was in my second. Well, the first one was like a kind of mixed fight on a card at the Orleans.
Yeah,
it was like a open palm. It started out open palm, like a Packers fight.
Yeah.
By the end, they were like, okay, you can slap on your feet, and once you get to the ground, all you can do is you can't hit at all. And I'm like, by that time, I'm already trained, got there, showed up. I'm like, fuck it, let's go.
Yeah.
All right, and I kicked the guy in the head, and knocked him out.
Yeah.
But then, my second fight was down in Brazil. That was 1 30-minute round. Bare knuckle.
30-minute round.
It was
that was the one with the net, right?
With the net, it had a net from the bottom of the rope.
Yeah.
Out. It was crazy.
And you were punching the guy through the fucking net.
Yeah, at the end, I had his head stuck in there. I'm looking, they're not going to stop it. I'm like, but the funniest part about that one though. So I'm walking in, and my buddy corner. So I'm walking in, and he's on the other side. I'm here, and in the middle is his manager. And then everybody gets out of the ring. We walk back to the corner. I look over. I'm like, hey man, why is this manager still in the middle of the ring? My buddy goes, I think he's refereeing. Just don't worry about it. I'm like, okay, whatever. The referee was his manager.
So the ref was his manager. So it was set up damn near for not be great for you.
It was like, I'm like, oh, that's interesting. And back then I'm like,
wait a minute.
I get a fair decision. I get a decision.
The ref was his manager, and they also let you just beat him up.
But
the ref didn't stop his own guy from getting
because I think that it was near the end, but I had him stuck. It was the last 2 minutes of the fight, 2 or 3 minutes. I had him stuck underneath the net,
yeah.
And I'm hitting him, and I think his manager thought he might win the decision if he makes the distance.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say maybe
we were
maybe the manager.
Brazil, there's always that thing that maybe he can control the decision, but they gave me a fair decision. It was a fair decision. I won.
I would probably fire my manager after that. It's like, hey man, I was out cold getting my head beat in front of the crowd.
Have you ever seen Matt Martin when he fought the Hitman Hearns?
No, I haven't.
Okay, go back and look at that and see how the guy looks at the end. How Martin looks after he fights Hitman Hearns. That's kind of what the guy looked like the next day at the hotel. I was like, sorry, bro. Tough, man.
No,
Tough, man.
Sorry.
Hey, you quit in him, man.
You got to be sorry for your fucking manager. You did have a quote that you had said one time. It's like, I want to hurt you, but I want you to be okay after the fight.
Oh yeah, I'm trying to kill you. I really am trying to hurt you. I'm trying to end you the best I can. But I hope you're all right as soon as it's over.
So to go after that, is there anybody you've ever fought, Tito, that you ever just like, fuck that, I don't care if you're good after the fight either?
No, I mean, I don't have that kind of hate towards anybody. I don't care enough about him to hate him that much. I don't. My thing is, I didn't like people told me he's changed, so I don't like to bad mouth anybody now. Like he's gotten better about a lot of things. He wasn't a good person back then. Like he's just his word wasn't worth anything. You know, and to me, if you I can't trust your word, you're not a man. Just don't talk to me. Like, and he's just not. You know, he's a what have you done for me lately kind of guy back then.
Yeah.
I don't know. People
I don't know him, so I have nothing to say about him. I don't give people. At this point, I'm too old and too stubborn in my old time. I don't give people. You know, I wish him the best. And anytime we're cool when I see him. I'm not mean to him. I don't. You know, I hear he's a good father. He does a lot of stuff with the kids and wrestling. Like his wrestling team, his kids are on. Does a lot with the kids. I think that's great. So. You know, more power to him, but I just don't want to do anything with him. Did you see, and shout out to Tito for being a great father. Again, I don't know him personally, so I won't say anything bad about anybody. Gossip ended in high school, and I didn't like it then. So shout out to him. If he's a good person, great. If you're not, it's nothing to do with me. Yeah. Just I wish you best and health, and continue to do what you're doing. Keep running your bars and your restaurants, and I'm happy for you. But to the next thing, did you see the UFC being what it was? You know, some people say, oh yeah, we knew the whole time. You got like a Joe Rogan, he's doing it for free in the beginning because he really saw the vision. And some people are just fighting, and it ended up being what it was. What was your mindset?
I don't know if he did it because he saw the vision, or if he just loved it. He liked the sport.
Yeah, that's true.
And he was at a point in his career where he didn't need to do that. I mean, he really couldn't have paid him enough. I mean, he was making money hand over fist on a lot of it.
Yeah, TV was paying him pretty good damn well.
He's doing really well. But he's just a fan of the sport. He's a kickboxing fan. He's a jiu-jitsu fan. You know, he trains. I mean, But I always thought it would get there. I think this is the best sport in the world, but I thought it would take us a lot longer to get there. And I mean, I mean, what really helped was the Ultimate Fighter. It was like the reality show craze got us, and that was like they didn't even say it was this Trojan horse to get a free fight on TV. So you could not only see this, because I mean before that I spent a lot of time doing interviews with people that have no clue who we are, what we do, what they think they have no idea what the sport was. and I had to deal with a lot of guys. A lot of those interviews are terrible. Like the interviewers are horrible. Like it's like you couldn't even, some of the guys that talk shows, they wouldn't even look at the one sheet. I mean, but I actually went and got early on. I got someone helped me on how to do interviews, because I mean, if you don't know how to do interviews, and someone just asks you some stupid question, like, and you're like, okay, yeah, why? Like, and when that's on radio, especially, that does you nothing. But like, I think the best thing they taught me, for anybody that wants to learn how to do interviews, if they don't know what they're talking about, they don't know nothing about you. Take the first question, how dumb it is, I don't matter, answer it yes or no.
Yeah.
And talk for about a minute to a minute and a half about what you want to talk about. Just start talking. And then if they're any good at all, they'll make the whole radio bit about that minute and a half. And that's their job.
These days we call it content, right? You just record it.
That's for someone that does. That's if you're on a radio interview. Those little short, because they're short, right? Even when the UFC is paying to have it on there. Yeah. They're advertising on your radio, and they want to have that interview with you on there. That's a lot of times how they get you on there. But they get you on there. Then that back then, but that's a way to get those short interviews, because then they like you. Then they want you next time.
Yeah.
Hey, that guy made me look good.
Yep.
I was a jackass. I didn't do my homework. I came in here and I didn't know it, and he made me look good. I like him. Bring him back. I'll bring that guy next time. So for a long time, it was like me. There was like 3 or 4 of us that the only guys people wanted. So.
No, UFC definitely took off. I think Spike TV, obviously getting on Spike TV helped, and the Ultimate Fighter. And we talked about it earlier off camera. The Ultimate Fighter was that. So I look at it as your era, like you were in the Larry Bird, Magic Johnson of the sport, right? You had the UFC before you, but the NBA took off, like the Showtime Lakers and the Larry Birds and all that, and that's where like the UFC really took off. You and the Tito's and Randy's and Pride, Vanderlei's, and then Forrest and Stephen pretty much were like the next Kobe and Shaq, like the Kobe and Shaq era, where they just really got it to a whole different generation to just enjoy carnage. Does it ever make you feel like laugh or think that how crazy humans are, that we love, like people get half naked, go into a cage, elbow each other, and we're all for it. Humans are all for it. We're fucking cheering. We're happy when our favorite person gets knocked out. We're happy when they win. We don't give a fuck. We just want to see violence. Is it ever like tell yourself like we have a problem as a species?
I don't know. I enjoy it, but I think it's different.
I enjoy it, obviously.
I think it's different for us too. Like I mean, I used to fight. I get in with some of my best friends when we're sparring.
Yeah.
Like some of my guys' training partner fighting. We go at it sometimes. And John has to pull his partner. All right, get out. Guys, go. Guys, get out of here. We're going. I mean, I'm trying to kill one of my best friends, guy that I've been training with for 10 years.
Adrenaline, testosterone.
Get going. We're trying. I mean, one of my buddies, I wrestled with in college, and he was a Pac-10 champ, and he fought kickboxing twice, and his last fight was against Glover Teixeira. He beat Glover in a tough fight. That's how Glover came to train with us right after that. But
I didn't know that.
But he just got over. He was like burnt out on getting ready for fights. But he used to be my sparring partner forever, and we used to go at it, man. He's a tough.
Shout out to him.
Yeah, Eric Schwartz. He was tough, man.
Question: I've asked other fighters this. I get mixed reactions. Some people take offense. Some people understand what I mean by it. I say fighters, like professional fighters, have to have like a screw loose. And I'm not saying you're crazy or anything, but I don't think a sane person gets in half naked into a cage and elbows each other for a living and excited about it at the same time. You have to have a certain screw loose to do it. And some people are like, well, you calling me crazy?
Say that's one way to say it. I'd say it too. I like to remind people, like when they start pushing at guys that are fighters and does that. Now my line is way up here, but remember I got a line.
Yeah.
It's still there. I might be way up here. My tolerance might be way up here. But you don't want to cross that.
That's the threshold point. There
is a threshold point with everybody. Everybody has one. But I mean, and the funny thing is though, with us, like most fighters it's so high. Like I might take swings at me. I'm like, oh hey, you sure you want to do this? Like
you know what? With that, said,
Like,
I was going to bring this up later, but perfect segue. I think it was in Huntington Beach. You were like kind of stopping some of the looters or rioters from, doing the fuckery that they were doing.
Yeah.
And one dude, not knowing who you are, I'm guessing when you hide the Mohawk, they don't know who you are. You had a hat on, and he shoved you. You showed perfect restraint. You were trying to help. I think they were trying to call you racist.
Yeah, I was
Talk
trying to
about
break. I was trying to break shit up. I was trying to calm everybody down because there was no reason for the violence. The guys I was with were all racist. Like the guys I was hanging out with, but you had guys yelling racial slurs.
Yeah,
I yelled at them more than I as much as hey, you shut your mouth.
Yeah,
like it's like I don't. That's not cool. Like we're not with that. We're here. They don't get to loot and riot. You don't get to come down the street and loot this street.
Yeah.
You don't get to destroy this town.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I was out doing the same thing.
And at that time, because at that time, it would it's even get on someone about being there and defending that. It's like, hey, look. All you have to look is the night before, and a couple cities over, where a couple different cities was getting burned to the ground.
Mm-hmm.
So sorry, you don't get to do that here.
Yeah.
Well, I don't care who you are.
I completely agree.
No one's coming down here and doing that. We're not going to let you do that. It's already been done at all these places. So now we're not. Hey, we know it's not going to be peaceful. Why don't we just stop it right here?
Yeah, you try, but we're not going for it.
Yeah,
like it's not necessary. Like San Diego had banks burning.
And
we're not doing it.
The BLM side of that was the ones that got it and ended their thing because they sprayed pepper spray.
That's funny.
At us. They sprayed pepper spray at us, and that's what allowed the cops to rescind their marching order.
So how close were they to that line you were talking about when they're doing all this crazy shit? They hadn't got
there. They hadn't got there. Not yet.
They put your hands on you, and I know that's a dangerous game to play with men in general.
With me, like I'm not worried about me. You're not threatening me that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not threatened. I mean, if my kids are there, my wife's my ex-wife or whatever, whoever was it, my girlfriend's there.
Yeah, you're partying at the time.
But yeah, if they're there, then you got to worry a little more.
Yeah,
because I'm protecting them. But protecting me, it's not the first time I've been swung at. It's not the first time I've been pushed.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't suggest doing it a lot, but
yeah.
But I'm trying to calm the situation down. The bigger thing is a big situation there. Then it's not just me and a guy talking. It's like just and there's guys on both sides helping. Like both sides. Like, hey, look, back up. I'll take care of these idiots. You take care of your idiots.
Yeah.
I'll take care of the idiots over here being assholes.
Playing mediator.
You take care of the idiots being over there on your side being assholes. Okay, we're good.
And see, that's a good balance that you have. There's a quote that I'd rather be a warrior in the garden than a gardener at war, because having the capability of violence, being capable of violence, is better than not being capable.
I think and being capable of violence and being able and being comfortable, like I know. When I need to turn that switch, when I decide to turn that switch, I'm fine.
Yeah,
I will be okay. There's not a whole lot of.
The biggest thing is you have the switch. There's a lot of people that don't have.
But if you don't have that switch, you start trying to pull it early because you need to. You gotta peacock. You gotta get people scared. You gotta get people worried, and you gotta make them be scared of you, right? Because you got to be tough and scary.
You have no idea what happens. You have no idea how to handle yourself if the line does get crossed. You got to be tough and scary,
and because I don't know how many guys back in the day, especially before I knew who I was.
Yeah,
they'd get all big and scary, and I'm like, okay, let's go outside.
And it didn't work.
No, I know people here. I can't fight in the bar. Let's go outside.
Yeah.
Oh man, my wife left me. I'm like, okay, that doesn't give you an excuse to be an asshole.
Yeah.
But it's like. But that's how people get. Like most of those get big.
Yeah. A lot of people are like that. And my culture, we call it their Hollywood, right? They put on this act, this show, and a lot of times, it's one of those old school sayings: the loudest person in the room is normally the weakest person in the room. It's not always true, but unfortunately, it's more true than it's not true. I just tell people leave people the fuck alone. I used to work at an H&R Block in Imperial Beach, and in San Diego. And I've met Navy SEALs, right? Because that's where a lot of them live there. And that was one of the first moments of leaving the fuck alone. Because I'm thinking at these guys, I'm like, man, this guy is like some regular dude that if I was like in a grocery store and he bumped my cart, the hoorah guy in me be like, I'll fuck that guy up. To fast forward, that's a SEAL. And you never know. You just leave people the fuck alone.
I sit there and talk with a buddy of mine, the sniper for SEALs. And,
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there talking to him. I mean, he looks like an accountant. And the way he talks like an accountant, calm and telling stories, I'm like, man, it just doesn't look like him, but they have that switch.
It's a switch.
You don't.
A special screw loose. When you can be at dinner with your wife and you're just chilling, and then they get a phone call. It's like, oh, bye, I'll be back, babe. Mwah. And you go and you're like debrief. You go kill Osama bin Laden, shoot him in the face 10 times, come back and eat dinner like nothing fucking happened.
Oh yeah, we're out.
And then some people want to.
We're out hunting coyotes, and he's like, I'm trying to aim with the nogs on it.
Yeah.
And he's like, how do you just put the dot? Don't even worry about it. You can put that dot. You can see that dot right on him. Oh yeah, I kill people like that all the time. I'm like, what?
Yeah, it's different.
Okay. But it's that nonchalant. Like they weren't. And he wasn't saying it because he's in the middle, and he went on a conversation. He didn't even notice.
I don't intimidate much.
He said it. I was like, okay. I'm like, okay.
I've been around a bunch of professional fighters, athletes, gangsters, guns. I don't intimidate. Good cops, bad cops. I don't intimidate much. There's only been 2 times in my life where just naturally I felt intimidated. One, first time I ran into Mike Tyson, and that's just as a kid. It's Iron Mike, and I'm like, my friend walked up to him, like kind of grabbed him to take a picture, and you can see his face on, "Are you fucking touching me?" And I'm looking at my friend like, bro, he about to get us beat up. We're at the Super Bowl in Tampa Bay. He's like grabs Mike Tyson. I'm like, fucking guy. Lucky nothing happened. You can see it in the picture. I might have it in post on this, like just post the picture of the guy. You see Mike just looking at him like, you have like seconds. And that was like one of the first time in my life I was ever intimidated. And the other time was the first time Donald Trump was at a UFC. I think he was active president. And looking at the Secret Service, just realizing that like they're watching these fights, the Secret Service, there's a bunch of tough men in the ring. These guys didn't care. These are killers. And I was like, damn, these are like SEALs, and like these guys are sitting here calm, cool, collected. These are stone cold killers standing right here. And I was like, man, you really like my size. I'm a big guy. I'm like, I can size you up, and certain, physically, that shit is intimidating when you realize like these people casually talk about like they casually kill people and go back to dinner like there's fucking nothing going on. Right. And that's why I learned. I was like, you gotta leave people alone. And then one thing I also learned is when I see cauliflower ears, I'm not gonna lie, you hesitant. It helped me get a couple of relationships, poker rooms. One guy, cauliflower ear, ended up getting me some guests because his sister fights in PFL and she does power slap. So he was linked me with her. But the first thing I saw was a cauliflower ear. I was thinking to myself, well, there's at least one guy at the table I probably can't take. I respect training all day long. I don't, physics is a thing, right? There's guys at 125 in the UFC, 135, 140, 145 that obviously out of 10, they probably take me because they're trained. But physics is physics. I'm 265. I still.
What makes a difference? Well, I always say, like, look, the technique is a lot, but bigger, like all things being equal.
Yeah.
Bigger, stronger, faster is better.
Yeah, always.
But I mean, but then in fighting, all things are never equal.
So bigger, stronger, faster. Again, perfect segue. You're good at You're good at this. Like you said, I'm the radio host. You make me look good. Bigger, stronger, faster. I asked you earlier, but I'm going to ask you on camera. I'm going to phrase it differently. You were getting, you're on your way out of your career when Jon Jones is coming into his prime. Do you think that like in your prime, or would you have liked to face Jon Jones? I
really hate the prime thing because of the fact that it can never happen.
Yeah, it's tough conversation.
When you start combining different times, different things, and which time of Jon Jones.
Well, were you happy that you were getting out when that guy's coming in, or was it like,
no,
fuck,
that's what
I would love to have
I would have loved that. Because I think I'm a bad matchup style-wise for him. Like, because he's very good at making people fight him where they're not good, or he's better than them.
Yeah.
He's very good at dictating where the fight is fought. And I'm a guy he wouldn't have been able to do that with. He would have had to stand with me. And if you look at, and my reach is not 76 like they listed. Jon listed at 76. I have a 79.5-inch reach, so they would have listed it at 80.
I believe you. The way you were touching everybody.
But John didn't want people. John was always really weird about stuff he didn't want people thinking I was long. If you put over 76 on your reach,
yeah,
they're gonna train for a guy that's long.
Mm-hmm.
At 76, they won't necessarily train for an extra long guy. So
Yep.
they're not bringing in longer guys.
He closed the distance. He closes the distance better when you don't know he has a longer reach.
Yeah. So I get a lot more range. Plus, he tended to do a lot. He liked to get out of the way this way.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go back and watch some of his films back then. He'd back out this. When you do this, I'm gonna hit you with no hand right. I'll catch you.
As you've done with almost everybody that's tried that.
If you start doing it because you get stuck back there, you're balance. But I just wrestling wise, he wouldn't have been able to out wrestle me. And he would have had a really hard time taking me down. And even if he could take me down, he would have had real trouble. He tried to snap my head down at a Super Bowl party
really
2 years ago. I tried when we came up to say hi to him, try to snap my head down. I'm like body locked him. I'm like, hey, don't even think about it.
I'm up here, but like you can get there real fast at a Super Bowl party. That's funny. So the wrestling thing, a lot of people obviously, especially back then, it was MMA, it's mixed martial arts, but most people don't know that you really are like an elite wrestler because you were so good at stand up. You were enough to get around.
I was a Division I wrestler. I wrestled all 4 years. I did okay, but what I was really good at is not getting scored on. Like I lost by 1 point to a lot of really good guys. But I was good at not being taken. I was a good scrambler. I was good at not being taken down. I was good at not being scored on. So those things transfer to a guy that wants to punch and use wrestling to stay on his feet. Really
okay, I'm gonna play devil's advocate on that. You're really good at not being taken down. First time you lost to Randy Couture, he took you down and dominated. Is that the adjustment you made, or was it, or you like?
That was the adjustment I made. I mean, and I actually didn't watch that fight till I'd gotten hurt like 6 weeks before that fight. I hurt my MCL, so I babied it. So I didn't train with it. And I got out of wrestling shape.
Okay.
And I went back and watched that film before the fight. I watched 3 minutes of it. And I was like, he took me down with a shot. We went all the way back, and I'm like, oh, it's over. I'm gonna knock him out.
Yeah, and you made the adjustments.
Yeah, but it just had to do it. I mean, it was one of those things. I just got tired. Plus, he was training with me when I came, and I was pissed. Like on top, I don't know if you'll ever remember it, but I was sitting there and I had a setup I do, like when guys were trying to pass my guard, I'd let them pass my guard.
Yeah.
I put my leg down, let them step over, so I could hip iced out and pop out. And I knew I put my leg down and if they take it, if they pass my guard, I would just because I was so ready to do it so fast, I couldn't stop it. I used to do that all the time. I showed he was training with us when he got the call to fight me. I thought he got the call to fight. I heard the call a little bit. I thought he got the call to fight Gann because he was still heavyweight.
Yeah.
And Gann was out of our camp. But he got the call to fight me. And I didn't know that. And so I showed him that setup to get off the bottom. And I went to do it when he was training, and he just sat back. He wouldn't pass the guard. I'm like, I was mad.
So you trained him up on technically how to compete against you better.
Yeah, I was mad. It was all right.
But it's
all
all love.
It worked out. I mean, he fought. Yeah.
You want to explain the feeling to us, to the audience? A lot of people, are striving to accomplish their first thing that's not a high school diploma. A lot of people quit before they try, and there's been people that have accomplished things. What's the feeling for you? Getting to a D1 school, that's an accomplishment. But actually getting the strap, the gold wrapped around your belt, when you know you're the champion, and you had to get it the hard way, right? You did the $1,000 fights overseas and try to bartender at the same time.
A lot of it has to do with it's just that drive to be the best. I mean, I always wanted to prove I was the best. I knew I could beat, like losing to Randy. It was tough, man, but he was a tough guy. And for me, like, I let Tito off the hook too, like because I knew I beat him up every day at practice.
Yeah.
And we practiced. We only practiced about 10 or 15 times, but I beat him up every time we trained. He couldn't beat me in anything. He could beat me in a wrestling match.
So why was he so confident talking shit?
Because he was trying. Well, he wasn't. That's why he was trying not to fight me. He did.
I mean,
He tried to
talked a lot,
dodge
but
fight.
yeah.
He tried to dodge fighting me forever. Said we were friends. Like soon as he talked shit right after I beat Vitor. Got in the ring, talk shit, but then he went and beat Ken, and I knocked out Babalu, and he's like, oh, we got to go to Pride and get more money, and I don't know, we're too good of friends, and I don't know when that happened, but
It didn't work out. So did you want it to last a little bit longer so you can like kind of touch him longer and make a point, or are you just happy to go ahead and finish it?
I'm always happy to finish.
Just happy to get the fuck out of there.
Well, I just want. I'm trying to end you. Like I said, I think I threw 23 punches in the last 7 seconds of that fight.
Okay.
That first fight.
Yeah. I think 23.
23 in the last 7 seconds of that first fight, and enough of them landed to put him down.
So your prime was in light heavyweight, and there's this guy carrying the sport right now named Alex Poetan Pereira.
Yeah.
And I had a 4:00 in the morning debate last night with my brother. He was, talking about new school versus old school, and maybe it's the fan in me, but and again, I don't claim to be a fighter, so you can give me your take. And the whole show is like, what the fuck do I know, right? His check left obviously is vicious, but I don't see that being the thing. I mean, he obviously can catch anybody. I don't see him matching up well with you. I think you touch him way too often.
I think with
but you tell me.
Look, I don't know. Like I've got to work with him a little bit. I worked with him since he started doing. Glover had me help him since he started talking about coming over from Glory, from the kickboxing, and because I made the transition, kind of get it. And I went back and worked with him a little bit on some head position stuff and some other stuff. And I like working with him on the wrestling stuff. And he's a better kickboxer than me in general.
Yeah.
He is a better kickboxer than me. I mean,
it's a solid. He's a great kickboxer.
I mean, I have to survive a couple. Me not catching him. I mean, I don't know. I might get him to try to do one of those. I would if I found him. I'd try to wrestle him the whole time. I'd try to take him down all the time because I'm a good enough wrestler with guys that don't have. He doesn't defend a takedown.
You have wrestlers in the background off camera, like hell yeah, that's it.
Yeah. He's not a guy I want to stay. I wouldn't choose to stand with him. I mean, it's not.
People can call him a one-trick pony or whatever you want to call it. That left has napalm, and you gotta respect it.
Yeah, he's got explosion in both. I mean, he's got both hands.
Yeah, he does.
He can knock you out with either hand and both feet. So, anybody like that, I prefer him. I prefer to wrestle on the ground.
Okay, Jon Jones stand up, Alex on the ground.
Yeah.
So
sure.
I mean, what that guy's doing right now, he's moving the needle. He's carrying the sport. He's awesome,
and he's a good dude. And he's one of the guys. He's as comfortable fighting as he's like. There's very few guys that I think are like as calm and as I feel like I was. But like Glover's the same way. They just like fighting. They like to go out there. They're just calm.
Yeah.
He thinks he's gonna knock you out.
So
he goes out there. He thinks he's gonna knock you out, and most of the time that's what happens.
The thing I like about them when I met them, even though Poetan doesn't speak English, is they just seem like good people. And to me, that beats everything.
Glover's one of the nicest people on the planet.
Big smile.
Nice guy, good dude, loves what he's doing, love being a fighter, love the fact that he got to fight for a living.
Yeah.
You know, he loves it. I mean, he's like, and that's one of the guys like really truly like me. I got paid to do what I love for them.
Yeah.
I couldn't have had a better job. He used to ask me, "What don't you miss?" And I said, "There's no part about it that I don't miss."
Yeah.
I even like cutting weight because I knew that meant I get to fight the next day. I get my reward now. I'm completely done with my getting ready. Now I get to go have some fun.
That's a good mindset to have. I know a lot of fighters that obviously weight cut is what they say is the worst part for them. They hate it.
You know, I learned early too was because I used to wrestle. We used to cut weight, and then like as soon as you make weight, I'd go eat crap. I would just eat whatever I hadn't got to eat because that day, and my the first guy that did my nutrition, he's like, look, So you gave me 8 weeks. Give me one more day. After you weigh in, just eat right for one more day.
Yeah.
Then I don't care. Eat whatever you want.
Yeah, until next camp.
Yeah. Until we're ready, until we're back. You can eat whatever you want after that. But it's not just, you can give me 8 weeks. Give me, and then later he talked about it. Hey, come on. You keep your diet as you got, and then as you got older, like I started watching when I ate a little more on a regular basis, and really, it's still like I used to, even when I dieted, I do like 3 cheat meals a week, so I could, there was never nothing I couldn't have, but then it's like, and then if you couldn't have it.
Were you guys doing Epsom salt baths even back then, or like, were you guys cutting? How you guys cutting weight? Old school running,
old school,
sauna and stuff.
Sauna. I usually just plastics, and I try to diet down for the most part.
Yeah.
And I didn't like cutting a lot of water, so I usually, I think the worst I ever did was I had a day of weigh-in. I had to fight. I weighed in at 12. I had to fight at 8, and I cut 19.5 pounds for that.
Same day weigh-ins. But
that was because, a long story, but they moved the fight 3 weeks, and my whole fight team had already planned a trip to Hawaii right after my fight. So we all just went on the Hawaii fight team trip before the fight, since we were all trained. We trained out there with Egan and away out there in Hawaii, and came back and fought. But I needed to lose 5 more pounds during those 3 weeks, and I put on 5 pounds to those 3 weeks instead. So instead of cutting 10 pounds, now I'm cutting 20.
Okay. So, question for you. You're a lot of people's hero, right? You're a lot of people's favorite fighter. Who's your hero on the planet? Just
my grandfather.
Grandfather?
He was my hero. He was.
Would you like to elaborate?
He was a guy stand up for anybody. Didn't always have very principled, very he retired from the sheriff's department, and but he was always a good example to me. Like always, everything was black and white to him, right and wrong. He didn't care what it cost him, what it did. He stand up for whatever he believed in. So, he was my hero.
That's great, man. That's great. And would you say you embody a lot of what he taught you?
I try to, man. I try to make him proud.
That's good shit, man. It's good shit. So that's a great question. I love that take. I'm gonna send that to you as well. A lot of people don't get asked that question. I think we should ask it more often, right? Especially when you're big name people, big name stars. You are a lot of people's hero, but people forget that there was a time and place where you were growing up and there were heroes on the planet that you guys looked up to make you the man that you are today. So, and the behind the scenes, what's at your core that got you to being the Chuck Iceman Liddell, the man, and on top of the fighter. And speaking of the man on top of the fighter, I've seen you like everywhere outside of fighting. So I ran into you at Michael Rubin's Fanatics party, right? And I'm like looking up like this guy's everywhere. You're at obviously the SB's SB after party, sweating through your damn suit. It was a blue suit you had on last year. Dancing to the Migos. I didn't even know you knew the Migos, but you're having a good time. Oh, yeah. I have it on video. I might put that on the thing. I think I put you on the camera. I don't even know what they're saying, but it was a good fucking time. Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre's party. You're in Dr. Dre's party in the fucking lowrider with the dude from I think WWE, the guy you bring around. You guys walking around the WWE belt for the weekend from the Super Bowl party.
Dave was a good dude.
Yeah. And one thing I do like is you bring your lady with you. A lot of places you go.
I always like her with me.
And
she's awesome.
I love that. And for a question for you is like Cub Swanson brings his lady. You bring your lady. Michael Chandler brings his lady. Is it weird for you or for them, like when people kind of just like brush past them and like talk to you or like stand in front of them or like don't give them? Because I don't know if you noticed, but I make sure I speak. I was raised by I was old school parents too.
My biggest pet peeve, so anyone wants to know, is you get people who will actually take their phone and hand it.
Oh,
to my girl, like she's working for them. Like it's like, look, she's the sweetest person in the world.
Yeah, she's nice.
Heidi Ray
really
is
nice.
One of the nicest people in the world. She's happy to take a picture for you. She'll offer to take a picture for you if you don't ask.
But don't obligate her.
Don't hand it to her like she works for you. I wouldn't hand it to her like she works for me. You don't get to do that.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen. You know, like that's the worst. I mean, it's like, what is wrong with you? Funny is like some of my guy friends, they'll do that to them, and they'll go, okay, and they turn it around and take a picture of themselves and hand it back to them.
Hell yeah, why not?
but it's
because
like, but like people forget. People do forget.
Sense.
Like I mean, I'll go back all the way. I had a guy one time, a long time ago, with my oldest daughter, and I was walking, holding her hand, and this guy ran up and knocks her down.
Yeah.
By mistake, obviously he's a big fake guy, excited, knocks her down. So I'm picking her up. First words out of his mouth were, "Can I have an autograph?" I looked up, went, "You need to run."
Yeah.
Got up. I'm like, oh, I mean, the only thing saving you is she's here right now. Like, I was like, what is wrong with you? Like, I mean, if he just said, "Oh man, I'm sorry, is she okay?" I would, okay, take it easy next time. But yeah, I hear her. You know, but it's just like some people forget. Like, it's just common courtesy. Like, it's just simple things to be nice. Like,
you know, it's crazy. You're overly accommodating too. So it's like, and that's the problem is when you meet somebody like yourself who almost always tries to stop and does the autograph, the pictures, you know, when somebody pushes past that line, when you're already being over accommodating and they still like give a mouse a cookie, they want a glass of milk type thing.
Oh yeah.
It's,
I've had a guy, and trust me, now this is over a long time. Most fan interactions for me have been positive.
Yeah.
I had a guy one time. I was on the top of a jungle gym chasing my two kids. Me, my big ass on top of a jungle gym chasing my kids. Hey man, can I get a picture? When I'm done.
Yeah.
What an asshole took off. Like, did you just call me an asshole? Like, what is wrong with you? Like, it's like, bro, like, you know what you like me for, right?
Yeah. Don't forget what I do for a living.
You forget what you like me, right?
But people know time and place. They know when kids around or like it's a corporate event. They know they can play the game.
I catch people sometimes. I'm like, oh man, I'll see someone like go like, hey man, you come on. I don't want them not to get the picture because they're being polite.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, oh yeah, come on, it's all right. You know, my kids are okay with it. They get my kids. I've learned too. They get a lot of cool stuff. Get to do a lot of cool stuff because of who I am and because of fans. So they can't get too upset that I give fans attention. Sometimes.
Yeah, it's part of the game.
It's part of what I.
When we have that extra car or we have that extra trip, it's paid for and for the most part, and brung together by fans.
Remember too, like a lot it means a lot to a lot of these people. A lot of fans. They you know, it puts a smile on their face.
Yeah.
That's all. If it makes hey man, I was having a horrible week, but now I got to meet you, man. It's great. I'm doing better.
Question
great.
for you when it comes to that, because I've seen you a bunch of UFC fights. At this point, I've been like 30 of them. I think I ran into you, and sometimes you know you I don't know if you drink now, but you definitely you've had a few.
Yeah, I do.
And people are like, oh, he's drinking. I'm like, I probably would if about 500 people were about to come touch me and be in my face and.
I don't do it for that because that doesn't bother me. Like I'm a people person anyway. Yeah. I like people and that doesn't bother me. If I'm drinking, it's I wanted to drink. I'm not doing it to avoid people or
You're just having a good time.
I'm having a good time. Like for me, I'm not. That's one good thing. I don't want I don't drink to drown sorrow or drink to do that. I think when you start doing that, you're adding an insult to injury kind of thing. Like you're building on top of it and possibly. So I try to do stuff where I'm happy. That's usually when I'm not in a good place.
But you're definitely a commendable. One of the times I talked to you, it was in I think Arizona, Charles Oliveira and Gaethje. You're in the VIP, and I do the photo op, and I'm talking to you about I think the Black Lives Matter thing, and we had like a 20-minute conversation, and it was great. And I had it like I was like, I hope he doesn't think I'm rude because I'm like ushering you back because there's still a long line of people trying to take a picture. I was like, I hope he doesn't think I'm rude and like trying to get rid of him. I just know that the fact that you're willing to have a conversation, but I'm like
my thing too is when I'm
at
a thing where I'm not rushed and I don't have to be out.
Yeah.
I like it better. Like it gets a little hard for me when I have to go bing, 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 bing.
Yeah.
When they're trying to really rush people.
The fucking expos.
I like to have a few minutes to say hi.
Yeah.
And I mean, at least even at the expo, I mean, they got, the UFC gets it. So,
Yeah.
I can say hi. Hey, how you doing? I can write their name, and I've been in things where they don't even want me to write their name.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, dude, like, and they, oh, he can't take a picture. I'm like, no, come on. He's waiting in line. He's been in line for 3 hours. Leave him alone.
100%.
You know, he's waited in line for 3 hours. I can really personalize it for him. You know?
Yeah. 2 years ago at the expo, I don't think you remember this at the point because we weren't as, I don't think we had met and like seen each other outside. But I had the VIP thing, so I can go through the expo line pretty fast. So what I did was I had yourself and every fighter sign like 10 to 15 of the papers they give you, the headshots, and I would go to the back of the line and find the kids mainly and give them the signed papers because me and you both know they're not making it to the front at that point. And some of these people are in line for you for 3 hours, you know, so, and there's no way they're making it to the front, that it's not moving.
I'll tell you, sorry, I was in Kylene, Texas, for when I did my book signing. And we were doing a 2-hour signing at this bookstore. And so we're sitting there on signing, doing the thing, and I'm looking at the line. It's almost 2 hours. It's almost up. The line hasn't changed. It's still out the door. I'm like, hey, has someone cut the line? I asked, and this usually I was at the UFC people. This was just the book people. People were selling the book. Like the book company was doing the signing.
Yeah.
So I'm like, hey man, has someone cut the line yet? And they're like, oh no. We like confused. I'm like, you guys need to cut the line. Like, oh no, we can just leave. And when the time's up, you're done in like 15 minutes. I'm like, dude, have you seen that guy in the back of that line standing there? He's been standing there for 3 hours.
Yeah.
For 2 hours. He's standing for 2 hours back in the line with his kids.
I'm
not going anywhere. I'm not leaving.
Yeah.
Someone needs to go stand at the back of that line. Don't let anybody get in it. And then we wound up finishing. It took me almost 6 hours. Because then they also said, then they go, well, don't personalize and don't take pictures. Did you hear what I just said? That guy's been standing in line for 2.5 hours with his kids. By the time he gets up there, it's gonna be 3 hours.
At that point, I'm gonna give him whatever you request. I'll give him a hug if he needs one.
Waiting 3 hours with his kid. I won't wait in line. I mean, unless I guess for my kids, if they wanted to wait in line for 3 hours, there's nothing I'll wait in line for 3 hours for.
Yeah,
I don't think.
I don't even go to Disneyland because I hate lines. So imagine that.
Yeah.
So, but this is why people, you know, love or covet the man, and also the fighter. And this is one of the things about. I think I made a post. It was like 2 years ago, and I think the post was about you, and it was like, when you're a great fighter, but you're even a better person. And that was the thing. I've met, you know, you've met more people than I can imagine, but I've met a lot of rich people, celebrities, and to be honest, some of them are standoffish, as they should be. You know, probably had to deal with it. Some of them are just not good fucking people.
Oh, 100%.
They're just not good people.
And I understand more the standoffish because I was at a thing with a famous guy, and he's an famous athlete.
Yeah.
And someone came up and wanted a picture with me, and then I tried to get a picture with him, and he's like, no, I don't do pictures right now. But he had a rule, like after he's been drinking, and it was 10 o'clock at night, we're at a bar. After he's been drinking, he doesn't take pictures of people.
Yeah.
Because he was in a sport where it's looked down upon, right?
Yeah.
They get but he's like, I'm like, don't get mad at him. He's on his private time.
Yeah.
And he just said no, like, but you know, and some people.
A lot of fans feel obligated, like they're supposed to because they bought tickets, and it's like, you want to help, but not every single time am I going to oblige to everything you look for. Sometimes I want to actually breathe and relax, and that doesn't make a person a bad person.
Yeah, and I don't blame anybody on their free time. I mean, you know, I've been at things where like guys are. You know, it was like $1,000 a plate dinner for like Muhammad Ali's charity, and there was, you know, a lot of the guys that were there that were turning down pictures, and I'm like, dude, and they're some friends of mine. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Like, we're at the event. Like, these guys paid to be here. You're here to support the event. You want them to support the event and come back next year.
Yeah.
You know, when we go out later and we go to the bar, I don't care if you tell everybody in there to go pound sand. That's fine. But these guys, you know, it's, you know, time and a place. They should be able to expect. But, you know, I don't mind anywhere. But most people, like, you know,
it's tough. But you are as good as a man as you are with your hands. And it's, again, I like the podcast and I like being able to have guests here, but it's still my home. And there's a lot of people I just don't invite to my home. There's cousins I don't invite to my home. I love them to death, but some people you gotta love from afar. I learned my lesson. So, I definitely appreciate you coming for that. But I want to get into something we talked about off camera as well. One of my favorite fucking fighters, man, and I don't care what anybody says about him, Mr. fucking Vanderlei Silva himself, the stare down king that once got dethroned by the Iceman, Chuck Liddell. How is that dealing with stare downs in general? But he's known for a stare down, and between only you and Mirko have I ever seen, just douse that whole flame that was Vanderlei's stare down.
Stare downs, for me, especially it's dude, I'm not. You're not gonna intimidate me. I don't know. I hate to break it to you, but I'm not afraid of anybody. Sorry, I'm the wrong guy. You picked the wrong guy, and even when he was doing it, I know he wants to intimidate you. They want to feel like you're intimidated. That in their mind, they want to see it in your eyes that you're nervous. And I got both him and Tito to push me after the weigh-ins.
Yeah.
The stare down by winking at him. They were doing this. I go, guys, we're not fighting till tomorrow. You got 24 hours. Get your clock. We got 24 hours, guys. You got at least 24 hours before we're gonna fight. So you might want to relax because all that nervous energy is gonna cause you.
Was there any version of?
Why would you? Why do you even want to intimidate him the day before? If you want to feel that, I get it. If you want to try to get it when you're across the ring from me when they're lining up to fight. Okay, now you want to see if you can see that crack in me. Where that's what they're looking for. They're looking to see that you're nervous.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry I can't oblige you on that. I'm not nervous. I like fighting. I like being out there. I'm happy to be there.
Did you get more of that, pride, no pun intended, when it was the Vanderlei pride versus Chuck UFC? We're really gonna see what promotion is better. I don't think I really cared about that. I thought I always said people ask me now, even now, when people start talking about breaking up the UFC and all that. Look, for the fans, what you want is one organization. I don't know that it's best for other things from fighter pay and all that stuff. I'm not going to get into all that stuff. I don't know enough about it in the current time. But what you want is you don't want the two tops, and everyone fans just argue over who's the best. You don't want that. You want to know. You want the guys to have to fight. Yeah.
Eventually, because you can dodge. People dodge some guys a little bit in the UFC here and there, but eventually, you're given an ultimatum. This guy's number one. You're the champion. You either fight him or we're going to strip you and we'll give him an interim title. If you want it back, you got to come back and take it.
You might get a call out like Usman with a Masvidal. Yeah, you might get call out number 5 or 6, and because you're the champ, we'll give it to you. Yeah. But you're not going to get you.
You're not going to get that every time.
There's still 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and unless you've already lapped him, Izzy lapped a lot of people. So Izzy, he's fighting people that are ranked 8 at this point, but he had lapped Whitaker. He lapped people. So Izzy was in a special position. But most people.
And it also comes down to making money.
Yeah.
You got to remember,
what's the
draw? Promotion.
It's still a business.
Still a business. And like I said, making yourself marketable, making yourself my last wedding.
If you need it, not just if you need it.
But making yourself marketable is makes it. It's one of those things about trying to jump the line. I used to stay in shape. I get somewhat shape for every UFC one back when there was only 5.
Just to make sure you're back.
Only 5 was a year because if anybody dropped out, I wanted to jump in.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you need we're gonna do 37 and a half. Sure, I'm in.
Yeah,
let's go. I fought Vitor. They threw that in between 37 and 38. It's called 37 and a half. The UFC 37 and a half. Okay, sure, because it was going to be on. One of the fights was going to be on Best Damn Sports Show.
Best Damn Sports. I forgot that show existed.
Yeah, one of the fights were going to be on there. I didn't know mine was not even an option to be on there. I thought part of the reason I wanted that fight was because I wanted to be on
the
TV.
Best Damn Sports Show.
I wanted to be on Best Damn Sports Show, but that was same thing. Back then, we were doing. I I forget what year it was. I flew back one of them. They had me fly back to do a late show. I think for the Best Damn Sports Show, I flew over there on day of weigh-ins to go do an interview on there and then come back to Vegas for whatever. But we needed the PR, So it was that was the time.
I mean, but that's smart. There's fighters that do that right now. They follow the promotions and they stay in weight. They stay in shape. They're not even named to back up, but they stay ready because they're ready to fight.
They want to be able to, if they get called on, you want to be ready to go. Okay, yeah, I can jump the line because it's jumping the line.
Yeah,
like it's your chance. It's a shot at getting a shot at the title sooner or getting this. Like I argued that's the only thing I ever argued for is like when Randleman came down.
Yeah,
from heavyweight to fight in the UFC. I'm like, hey, I need to fight him. And like Dana's like, well, I can't have you fight him unless you're gonna fight Tito. Or you fight Tito next after that. I'm like, of course.
And you finished both.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
fucking Randleman.
So,
that was. You didn't throw a lot of punches that fight either. That's fun. Question for you. I ask most fighters this: if you had a dream fight, it's 3 or 4 very similar questions. If you could fight anybody on the planet in history of time, so we're going Genghis Khan, we're going anybody. It could be Joe Biden, it could be anybody, right? Joe Biden is prime. Never know.
Look, I'm not,
but
I'm
who would be that type of person
no
that you
man.
would fight? And anybody in history, human history, that you can think of, who's your perfect fight?
I don't know. That's a weird question.
It's such a weird question.
Yeah,
it is.
I don't know who I would want to fight. I don't know.
He's like, I fought everybody that I wanted to fight.
I fought everybody I wanted to fight except for Jones. I mean, if you could fight in your prime, I think like I said, I just think styles wise, I'm a horrible.
So we'll go with the answer, Jon Jones.
Yeah.
All right. And another question: if you can run back any fight in your history, in all your fights and wrestling matches, anything, who would be the fight that you want to run it back?
I'd like to go. Are we going back and redoing that specific fight?
It just any fight that you like.
Redoing that.
I want to fight
like
that guy again.
I mean, it would have been. I would have wanted to go back to 07. Have another shot at Rampage.
Rampage.
I think afterwards I thought I could beat him. I still think I could have beat him. And at that point, I probably wouldn't have been far from retiring because I would have avenged all my losses and
Rampage over Rashad. You don't want to go back and you wouldn't think.
I don't know. I was already kind of on the other side of that.
Yeah.
The reason that one back would want that if I could take that fight back and redo that fight. And Rashad being there, we're too good of friends now. I was winning that fight. He just caught me.
It's
I was
part of the fight
I was
game. You
winning
get
that
caught.
fight, but hey, it happens.
Anybody can get caught. You've done it to other people, and you got to take it when it happens to you.
I got it. I mean, like I said, that was the thing. People always ask me why I fought so long. Like why? Because I lost 4, I lost 5.
Yeah.
And the thing was, it wasn't like if I was getting beat up and then getting knocked out.
Yeah.
It would have been that would have been easy quit.
Yeah.
But I was winning fights and then getting caught.
Yep, it's competitive. You're winning and you get caught.
Competitive, I'm winning and I get caught. And so I was like, it's got to be some way to fix this. It's got to be some way. And then when I finally figured out they couldn't fix it, because I couldn't fix the fact that I wasn't able to take a shot like I used to.
There's like a quote, and I heard Dave Chappelle say it, but I don't know where he got it from. It's like to be appreciated enough when you're living in your dreams, but be humble enough to realize when you're living in somebody else's. And I think like that goes like the Rampage, like, yeah, you're winning, but you've done that to other people where it was your dream, like the Randy second round, and it's like, dang, like he might think back, damn, fuck, like that was Chuck's time. And there's times where it turns out you were living in somebody else's. It was their time that was his highlight that built his career at that point. And sometimes you're in somebody else's dream, and humility has to go both ways.
It happens, man. It is what it is. It's fighting. That's why it's a fight. That's why it's fun to watch.
Yeah, I mean, anybody can get got. If there was a crossover in your time, Chuck Liddell, Iron Mike Tyson, who's taking it? Stand up, obviously.
Kickboxing or
Mike Tyson can't do any.
kickboxing, boxing,
just
or
boxing.
MMA?
Just
Just
boxing.
boxing. I mean,
MMA. I'll say
See,
you guys can have the 4 ounce gloves.
to make it a chance. I need to be able to kick him. if I can kick him, because here's the thing: if I like, he's a dangerous guy to do that too, because he got such heavy hands. But like a regular boxer, I'll tell you, I give you 1 round if I can leg kick. Because by the end of that round, you're not gonna be able to put enough weight on that front foot to knock me out.
Yeah.
You got to knock me out in the first round. So there it is.
Well, that's Iron Mike. He's Mr. First Round.
Yeah,
so
that's what I'm saying. If I can make it through that first round, but here's the other thing: if we can wrestle, I just got he's got 1 shot, and it's over.
Yeah,
Like, I always say on street
that's
fight,
why you got to
people
say
ask me about
stand up,
street
because
fight.
wrestling, there's no.
If it was street fight, he's got 1 shot on the way in, and I don't give most people that.
Yeah.
But him, I'll give that. He's got one shot on the way in. If he catches me on the way in, but I'm just coming. We're going to the ground. He ain't getting back
deep
up.
waters.
I
I'm
promise.
holding you.
We're going to the ground. And he ain't getting up.
Okay.
I'm not gonna let him get up. He's not gonna get a shot off. That's it.
Okay. So I mean, it's Iron Mike. So mainly any boxer, but obviously Iron Mike, you better take him down, or you gotta do it. Standing up in front of that man is
and
it's not
if,
smart.
If you're going against a boxer, a straight boxer, like a really skilled boxer, he should beat me. If he doesn't, I mean, I'm not a boxer. I was a good kickboxer, a decent kickboxer.
They're similar sports,
what
but they're
really
different.
good was being able to mix everything together. What really in the beginning really helped me become really good was I was pretty good at everything. I had heavy hands. I get hit hard. I hit real hard, but you had to worry about me wrestling. Like when I knocked out Overeem.
Yeah.
Overeem, all you see usually now is me knocking him out at the end. I overhand and stuff, but I took him down first and made him worry about me being on top of him. And then hit him. And then
he was considered like a muscle guy, strong guy.
And when he got up, then I caught him. Then I caught him and knocked him out. But he was worried about. He was kind of a little frozen on what was I going to do? Was I going to shoot or was I going to punch him?
Yeah.
So that gives you that timing. It's kind of like when what's his name when he fought JDS, Cain Velasquez. The first time he went out there,
Fucking
he went out
Cain.
there and Cain went out there to knock him out, stand up with him, and let him be comfortable boxing him. And Junior just knocked him out.
Junior Dos Santos.
Right. So, but the second fight he went out and he did what we tried to get him to do the first.
Yeah.
I tried to get him to do the first fight, was to take him down first and work on his wrestling and mix it up, and that freezes the boxers.
Yep.
So that like now their timing's off and they're not getting the punches off like they want.
He has to respect that your shoot, and now you can close
Shot.
the distance. Your shot, excuse me. Yeah, this what the fuck do I know, right? He has to respect you, and so when you close the distance, are you coming for an overhand, or are you coming to take him down? I've seen people get paused. I think Izzy was like not lucky. Izzy's a fucking skilled guy, but nobody in his class at that time was trying to take him down. It was a bunch of strikers, and unfortunately for them, Izzy was a better striker by far. He never had to respect most people's takedown, and that was a big difference. And I would love to see his career if 185 in Izzy's prime had anybody that would like just straight like a Chael Sonnen type guy that is gonna go for the wrestle. And speaking of Chael, I love Chael. What's your relationship with Chael? Do you have any relationship with
I
Chael?
get along with Chael. It's funny. I can tell people
He's
like
different.
I like Chael. But we were at before I was fighting that last fight in 2018. We were doing the same show, and I was in the back and talking to his mom actually, and he was out. He talked shit at the end of the thing about me, and he comes in. The first time, hey Chuck, what's up, man? How the kids? Oh yeah, my mom. You're my mom's favorite fighter.
Yeah.
It was.
He knows how to sell the
but
show.
he was just. I teed it up if you ever want to fight. That's all. That was it.
There we go.
It was like, it wasn't. He's just a good. He likes to run his mouth. It's funny. And he's funny.
He got paid for it. It sold fights, so I'm not mad at him, right?
I was gonna make fun of him. I would say like, oh, I know why you do that, because you're a boring fighter.
That's funny. What was your reaction to that? Kind of like,
He's just fuck off.
Yeah, that's it. What's your relationship like with Joe Rogan, Dana White? I don't see a lot of interactions like you and Joe, but because you're doing a
I've
different
known
thing.
Joe. I've known Joe for a long time. I mean, we're cool. I mean, I talk to him whenever I see him, and you know, he's good friends with Eddie Bravo. I used to train with Eddie.
He's a busy guy too.
Yeah, and I see him when I say hi whenever we see each other. I mean, he's a good dude. I like him. Him and Dana are the two guys. Me and Dana are still friends. You know, Dana used to be my manager. That's how I'm one of the reasons he got involved in MMA at all. So, yeah. We've been friends all through the whole thing. I mean, we don't agree on everything, but we agree to disagree, and we're good. And, We've always been good. Always friends. I mean, he's always been good to me. But yeah,
so this is a little.
But the one thing I do say, the two people I get asked hands down the most to get something in front of is Dana and Joe. I'm like, guys, I don't control Joe and I don't control Dana.
These are grown ass men.
And by the way, if you're coming to me to get to them, you obviously couldn't get to them through their normal. There's a normal channels that they know are there. So I mean, that
they place for a reason.
You know, and people don't understand. Like for me, like when I ask favors from friends, there's business favors and there's favors.
Yeah.
You know, like a favor's can you give me a reservation at this place?
Yeah.
You know, or what? You know, or something like that. I always tell people like, I had these guys trying to get me to get Mickey Rourke to take half his because I know Mickey.
Yeah.
Take half his rate for a movie, and they give me a part of the back end. I'm like, do I look like an asshole? Like, I mean, I'm gonna ask my friend to take half his pay at his work, and take part of the back end from him. Like, what's wrong with you people?
But we talked about earlier. Common courtesy is not normal at this point.
Like, I'll call a favor from a friend. I called him up one time because I forgot to get a Mother's Day reservation at the Four Seasons over by him, and like I was supposed to go to that thing, and I was like 300 on the wait list or something crazy, and I'm like, hey man, is there any way you can get us in? And he's like, and he actually came to Mother's Day with me and the kids, and got us a reservation. That's a favor from a friend, not asking him to take a cut on his pay and get paid for it.
Like we said, we talked about earlier, people.
It's like, what's wrong with people?
I don't know what because a lot of it's not malintent, it's not malicious, but that's what confuses me the most because it's still like, I mean, it's fucking stupid. Yeah, and it's like I don't understand. Just I try not to judge people because it's like maybe I was raised one way, you're raised a different way, you just don't know. But part of me is like, no, you do know better. You just try things, and I've had some people I've had to cut off because they. You know, their way to get a lot of things in life is to finesse. And I'm like, that's fine, no problem. But you don't do that to your circle. Like your circle or like off limits. You don't finesse us. And they still try. And I'm like, you know what? Like you don't get the concept of like we are your people. We're your family. You can't always trying to have some end around.
More into that story with that guy. That guy was just a douchebag. But like he was trying to get me to do it. Like I was asking me to do a favor for a friend. He's a friend of a friend of mine. So yeah. I was kind of that thing, and I was like, I was entertaining, maybe doing it for him, and then all this stuff went on. It was insane.
Your old manager, your business partner, your guy, has a relatively new thing called Power Slap. It's building. He's doing his thing. It's something else. I went to my first live one. To be honest, I didn't think I was gonna like it. I was like, this is fucking weird. But live, it's fucking amazing, and I've met some of the talent. I'm gonna call them fighters, but I met the talent, and they're solid people. What is your take on Power Slap?
Look, it's not for me. I'm all for us squaring up and trying to hit each other as hard as you want. But if I don't get to defend myself, I don't think I'm gonna let you do that. But more power to them. If you want to, if two grown men, two grown women want to hit each other in the face, see who hits harder. I mean, we used to play that game when we were kids. Mostly, usually in the arm or something. But you know,
body shots or something.
Body shots. All good. But yeah, I'm not. I'd be surprised. I'm surprised, especially body shot. I've had people like ask me to body shot them. I don't know how many times. Like, are you
I've seen
sure?
that. Yeah,
Are you sure?
yeah, viral video of a guy ask you to kick him. You leg kick him,
Yeah.
and I don't even think he went 100, but you can see
No.
like it.
I gave him a decent one.
Yeah, but it's still
Yeah.
like I was thinking to myself, I wonder if I should have him do that. And instantly, I was like, "Fuck, I look like no, I'm not. I'm good."
No,
like-
that one too. You're better off with a body shot because that one's like it's really well. You're not gonna. The good thing is I'm not gonna hurt you.
Yeah.
But you're gonna be walking. It's gonna hurt for about 3 weeks.
You're gonna limp.
You're gonna
fucking limp
for
away
about
after
3
this,
weeks, yeah.
and that's what 60% in love
Yeah,
coming
you
into
see,
it.
you see I'll show you the bruise on the leg.
Oh,
later.
shit.
I had a picture of that. He sent me a picture of the bruise the next
Yeah,
day.
I definitely want to
It's
see
like-
it.
It's like this big.
And we might, if after this, talk to the guy, and if
Oh, he
he's
doesn't-
okay
he
with
doesn't
it,
care.
we'll put it in post when we're talking about it, the
Alright.
bruise, and we'll post it, the bruise on his leg.
Yeah, 'cause I don't think
and the whole shot.
He posted up he was the one that it was
Oh,
his show.
It's a lot. It has a lot of views. I looked at it, and you gave him a good kick, but you could tell it's maybe 60-70%.
Yeah.
And with love, and
Yeah.
you could still hear it.
Yeah, I just made sure it was. I want to do it like I just make sure it's in the center.
Yeah.
So that way it's. I don't want to catch it.
A ligament or anything,
I
tear.
get something low.
So
But yeah.
all fighters, we're gonna get into our segments in a second, but all fighters ask this. I gotta ask you, who is your Mountain Rushmore, and then like who are your favorites? Those are the tough ones. There's no right or wrong. It's everything is opinion based, right? Beauty's in the eye of the beholder. So who's your like top 4, pound for pound, skill for skill, and then who's your favorites? There, it's not always the same. And I'll give you mine.
Well, Matt Hughes, BJ Penn,
Legends,
Anderson Silva,
Spider.
Well, I mean to watch Glover, but he's my boy. He's a bad man too, but
If you had to choose one more, who's up there?
who's up? Mighty Mouse is pretty bad.
I was gonna be disappointed if you didn't put
Batman.
Mighty Mouse in there. So my Mount Rushmore, our GOAT conversation. Maybe you're biased, you didn't put him in there, but I put Jon Jones in there, despite all the other thing. The man is he's a savage. He's there.
I mean, he's skillfully, technically one
Yeah.
of the best fighters. He's in the.
Yeah, he's in there.
I mean,
So
won't
mine,
get into
look,
it, but-
mine is Jon Jones, Mighty Mouse, and I tell people like everybody's lucky he wasn't 6'2". Mighty Mouse is one of the most all around like skilled fighters I've ever seen in my life. Manny
fun to
Nunes,
watch. Still
Yeah, fun
still
to
trying to win a fight, to finish a fight with.
Yeah.
and at the end of 5 rounds, or he won all 4.
Mighty Mouse is
They won all 5.
he's up there now. If he wasn't his size, I think he would be a lot more mainstream than he already is. Because heavyweights sell more and light heavyweights sell more.
Oh,
Little
yeah.
guys don't sell as much. But the dude skill, and we're talking skill for skill, pound for pound. Mighty Mouse has to be in anybody's GOAT conversation, in my opinion. But again, I'm not a fighter. What the fuck do I know? Manny Nunes, she's in mine. She was so damn dominant, and she almost never really got tested. And the one time she got tested, she fought bored. And so I put Amanda Nunes there. Anderson Silva is in mine as well. And if I don't know, that's my normal 4. If I had to put a 5 in the GOAT conversation of like pound for pound, skill for skill, I don't know. The 5th one is there's so many names that are in that bubble. That's the hard part. So many names in the bubble. I would like people say GSP and he's not there for me. Like he's in the bubble, but he's not my. Yeah, he's right there in the bubble, but I can't put him over.
He just for me, he fought too careful after losing that, getting knocked out. He fought way too careful.
Mhm.
Although he made really good guys look stupid.
Yeah, this is true.
so
So I'll stick with my 4.
it's tough.
Now, your favorite fighters, that was your GOAT conversation. Who are like your top 2 or top 3, just your favorite fighters to watch, or just favorite fighters in general?
Oh, those are some of my favorite. All those guys I
Same.
like watching a lot. They're the same. I mean, obviously, guys that I have an attachment to a little more. I mean, like Glover's of course,
Yeah.
like one of my guys. I jump out of the seat for that guy. I mean, I like watching Pereira now. Like he's fun. Like,
Yeah.
he's dangerous.
Yeah. I mean, you can't
Also,
blink.
and he's a nice guy too. Like
I think it helps when you're a good person, but you're a professional. You go in there, you do your job.
But I like watching Izzy fight. Like I try not to like him because his antics a little bit, but I really like him. I met him. Once I met him, I hung out with him.
Can't take away no matter what you say about antics. The skill set is there, and you got to respect the dude's skill set.
And he's just trying to. He's just doing his thing.
Yeah,
they're just trying to be the way. That's more. A lot of the stuff they do nowadays, I don't get. I'm old school. Like when it comes to
it's different day, man.
I mean, there's a little. I think people are you're allowed to talk about a little more things. I mean, Tito said something about my girlfriend one time. I want to punk him at a club right after his fight. Or after he fought Vito, I walked up to him. I said, "See, yeah," he said, "I don't date white trash bitches like Chuck." On a radio interview in San Diego.
Yeah.
And my guys from the Chargers called me. I was like, "Hey, man, this guy talking shit." So I after they can't ask me to squash it out of a thing.
Yeah.
I told him I walked up and said, "Look," walked up to him and said, "Hey, man, here, first off, this is my girlfriend. Apologize.
Yeah.
Secondly, you ever talk about my family or friends in a radio interview again? I know where you live. I'll come beat you in your living room. We got that." And I meant it. Even that whole thing when Khabib jumped the thing and went after those guys.
Yeah.
The way those guys were talking shit about his family, I got no problem with them.
No, they
going after the way they did it. Yes,
they went after.
They should have waited. If they wanted to, you want to do a gangster, you want to do it the right way. Wait till you get in the back room.
Yeah,
I would have pushed him in the room by myself.
But emotions,
yeah.
adrenaline. You're talking about his family, his religion, his wife, his father.
Oh yeah,
it's dangerous game you're playing.
And a lot of that stuff, that stuff's not to me. That's just it's a code. You talk all the shit you want about me.
Yeah,
my camp, how I train, how I fight, whatever. I don't give a shit. But leave my friends out of it. Leave my friends, my family out of it.
Yeah, don't go the Kobe Covington route. Right, great fighter, and I get.
And by the way, and with him, I like Kobe, but I mean, but don't be surprised if you're talking shit about my kids, and I walk up and
I run up to you in a restaurant.
I run up to you. It's like what he said. You're talking shit to him. And you walk up on him with your hands down and get hit in the face.
Yeah.
Don't be. I mean,
two piece in a soda.
Yeah. I mean, don't be surprised. It's not.
We're grown men.
I've been watching we doing out colds, right? Those
yeah.
videos, watching these guys. This guy's taking all the shit out of his pockets, puts it down the side, and comes walking at a guy with his hands down and gets knocked out.
I watch you watch those,
I'm like, what is wrong with you? Like, it's like if you're gonna.
I think they think it's TV. Yeah. People think it's TV and it's.
I mean, that's not
they're not. They don't think it really happened. And then when it happens, everybody's shocked.
I used to go up to the bar and fight like the college kids in the bar, and I get in the middle of my mouth. I'm like, look, neither one of you wants to fight. Either one of you was a fighter. You would have already fought. A punch would have been thrown. Just shut up. Go the other way. Leave me alone. I'd always tell, hey guys, please, just do me a favor. You kick his ass later somewhere else, just not here. Because if you do it here, it becomes my problem. Just for me, please, just go. And then guys are, I told Chuck. I was going to kick his ass, but Chuck asked me not to. Perfect. Works for both of us.
Yeah.
You get out of fighting because I know you don't want to, and I don't have to have you causing problems in my bar.
I've dealt with friends that are the exact same people. It's funny because most of them are the little dudes. For my friends, some of the little dudes that we call it like Chihuahua type thing, where they're barking at each other. But if I was to open the gate and let you on the other side, you'd be like, and it's like, I'm like, man, you're going to get me in trouble because I'm here with you. And we used to I'm from San Diego, so we go to Mexico a lot. And I told him, I was like, check this out. I let you get away with that, like in the States. You start something here in somebody else's country, you're on your own, bro. I can't fight people in a different country. I got to make it back to the border. I was like, and sometimes he's got locked up in Mexico starting some shit. I left him. Like, I love you. I'll see you back when you're inside. But I told you that weird starting stuff or trying to play the game that maybe look good for a girl or something. It's not for me.
I did that back in college wrestling. I remember one time where there was a funny story. So we had to talk about with one. I was a 118 pounder, I think. But he's sitting there and he's popping off to one of these football players at Taco Bell. And there's probably 8 of us wrestlers there. Like bigger guy, me, Seth, right, our big guys.
Yeah.
Our heavyweight. And then and the guy's like, come on, man. Like, he's like, and the guy, And then finally, the guy, or 118 punches the guy in the face. And the guy just goes like this to us, like go ahead.
Like, hey,
Okay, go ahead. Hey, he's on his own now. And you
Yeah.
know, the guy started hit him a couple times, and we broke it up.
Yeah, he tried to bail him out.
I tried to explain. Well, we bailed him out so he didn't get hurt real
Yeah.
bad. But it's like, look, man, I used to tell guys, like, if I'm not gonna let someone walk up and beat you up, but if you start shit with somebody, it's on you.
Yeah.
If you want to run your mouth on somebody,
I'm not gonna let you get hurt.
I'm not gonna let you hurt her,
But I'm gonna let you handle your business.
Handle your business.
Yep.
You obviously want to handle it. And now, don't get me wrong. If he comes up and tries to do that to you, I got a problem with it.
Yeah.
But if you want to do it to him, hey, it's on you.
You make your bed lie in it. You reap what you sow. Pick
Yeah.
pick a proverb, but
Yeah.
either one is gonna work out for you.
And I'll make sure things are okay. And if his friends start jumping in, I'll take care of it too.
Yeah, we'll handle
but
that.
we don't want to have to handle that. So,
But it'd be better if you just didn't start shit at all around.
yeah. But
Especially when you
but
know how we can get.
when they know that it's that, then you don't have that problem most of the time. Because a lot of times guys would start, oh, I'm gonna get chuck with me. I could go start talking shit
Yep.
to people. No.
Yep.
No, you can't.
My little guy friend, he's 5'6", 5'7", maybe $120, and the people we hang around, right? One guy is 300, 6'1", one other guy's 280, 6'2", and then I was like 185 football player, 6'2", and he's a little guy, so he feels protected. He feels like if he starts something, he has us three, and it's like, but that's not a good reason to start something. One, we're not in the mood to get into shit anyway. Two, this is real life. It's not high school anymore when security guards pull you off for whoever's working at the school and teachers. You can get really hurt. There's weapons involved. You never know what's going on. Like, let's just have a good time.
Yeah.
And so, to be honest, we don't hang out with that guy no more. Funny, one of my guys owns a business. He's a barber, and the other guy has a ranch and a business in San Diego. I've done well. I've owned a few businesses and an entrepreneur, and the little guy is in jail. And anybody surprised? No, none of us surprised. And we love him, but we can't talk to him. Once we had kids too, that was it. Like, we can't let you be around us and ruin things when we have kids.
I had a buddy, and he got mad at. He was getting mad at some other buddies. I said I won't hang out with him anymore. It was right after I just started fighting in the OC, but we were walking down State Street in Santa Barbara. He's throwing shoulders into people. Guys look at me like, what the fuck? Like, I'm like,
Yeah.
I go ahead. I'm not fighting for him. I'm not. If he's gonna start a fight with you, it's on him. I'm not fighting his.
We're grown.
We're grown.
Yeah.
It's not. We're not fighting over nothing.
Yeah, but people, I don't know. I don't know if it's living high school days or, I don't know. Old school.
I just that stuff too. Like,
a lot of
you're
people.
throwing into a guy you don't even know. Like, why you want to fight a guy you don't know?
I don't know if it's a black culture thing or maybe it's an old school thing. We say people don't believe fat meat is greasy, and it's like you don't believe shit really happens. Like you like in this la la land that you really think you mess with people and like just everything's gonna be cool, and maybe because you think Chuck's with you, leave people the fuck alone. It's just an easy way to be safe.
Oh yeah.
It normally works out that way pretty damn well, and be ready to protect yourself and have the ability to protect yourself if things happen to present itself. But stop going and looking for problems you're not ready to solve.
I used to have a person in my life that used to give me a hard time for not punking people. Why are you wasting your time talking to that guy? So just tell him to fuck off. Like why? Like, because 99% of the time, 99.9% of the time, if I do that, he's gonna make the right decision.
Yeah.
But if he doesn't, has he done enough to go to the hospital? Has he done enough to not make it to the hospital?
Yeah.
Has he done enough for me to go to jail?
Mm-hmm.
No, right? So why do we want to go there right away? I can always take it there.
Yeah.
They can always get there. I'm not going to let him do something that I don't want, that is not okay with me.
Yeah.
But I can talk him out. If I can talk him out of it, I'd rather do that. I'd rather be. It's just simple. And a lot of times he probably wasn't a bad guy. It probably was. He might have been making a mistake. He might have just had a bad day. Like, and the fact that I talked him out of it, it stopped him from having a really bad day, and it might have stopped me from having a bad day too.
I think a lot of people in the world are lucky that you have the mindset that you have, because your ability of what you could have been or what you could have done to a lot of people around you and from college to now could have been, travesty, atrocious.
Yeah.
but
and I used to
your
fight when I was a
mindset
kid
changed
because
it.
I liked fighting. But if I always said I learned it when I was a little older, when I was 21, 22. Like I kind of figuring out that I never started a fight. I never let you out of it really easy either.
Yeah.
So as I got older, I kind of give people outs and ways to not have to fight, not
50
have to. I don't throw it in their face. You know, I don't make it an ego thing where you gotta back down or no. Hey, bro, I don't want to fight either. We're cool. Like let's just
make you feel good about backing up, but I'm saving you from you.
Yeah.
And 50 Cent has a quote. I don't know if it's his again. I'm a big quote guy. It's like, I don't want any problems, but if you want a problem, okay. It's like, I'd rather not have it, but if you were like insisting on starting it, that's fine too. But it'd be great if you just like leave me the hell alone.
It'd be great if we could just be cool. Like we can figure this out. We can solve the problem.
A couple more things before we get into our segments. One, my favorite fighters to watch. I didn't get to answer that. Obviously, Chuck Liddell, Vanderlei Silva, and Dustin Poirier. Those are my 3 favorite fighters to watch. Like my favorite fighters that you don't have to be on the GOAT list. It's just my favorite fighters all time. Those you guys, I think you're just bangers. You're very skilled in a lot of different ways, and I don't think I've ever seen a boring fight in your damn career. And maybe I missed a boring one somewhere that was out there, but in wins and losses, it was not boring. It was graceful. Vanderlei wasn't as graceful, but it was just there's no boring fight. So if you're gonna watch a carnage sport, you guys embodied everything that was like when it comes to fight, the whole fight game.
Dan Henderson was always fun to watch.
Dan Henderson was a great fucking person to watch. I gotta get him on the podcast. He's out here somewhere.
Yeah.
So you gotta figure it out. So one thing, just because I don't think anybody's asked you on camera since it's happened, our fucking ex-president just got shot at our shot. What the fuck? How did where were you when you found out? I was in there doing a podcast, I think. My wife runs up and she's like, "What the fuck?" And I'm like, I was like, "Well, check if it's true, because there's internet says anything." And then when it's just everywhere on the thing, I was like, "What the fuck?"
I mean, I've talked about a couple of my buddies.
I'm happy you made it.
I'm talking to a couple of my buddies who are snipers. They're like, "What the? Like what was going on? Like it doesn't make sense."
Whoever it was, one shot, you fucked it up.
Well,
whoever it was,
he took more than one shot.
Yeah, but you had your shot at the guy.
Someone just sent me that render of like how close it was to being. If he just tried to turn his head just a little bit.
And he's gonna have the most iconic photo in the next 20, 30 years. The fucking hands up with the ear bleeding. It's gonna be the most iconic photo in the next 20 years. And again, we don't have to get into too many politics, but answer what you want to answer. Is Trump your guy if he runs?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, people always assume because I'm black, like I have to not vote. I'm like, at this point, you vote for the lesser of the two evils for the country. Fuck party, or that's my opinion. Fuck party or this and that. All presidents are not going to do everything they say, but I know one thing. One thing can't be is Biden can't win. Maybe if the Democrats had a better person, I can at least wonder who I'm going to vote for. When you can't finish a paragraph, you cannot be the leader of the free world. That's not debatable. Why are we debating any other? Well, is he a good president or this party or this? It doesn't matter. The dude can't finish a paragraph.
I don't think he's going to make it to the.
I don't see how. I don't
put someone else in, but
this again. We're in California, so they say votes don't count. California's gonna be Democrats, so there's nothing we can fucking do at this point. I mean, it was Republican until Clinton, so you never know. Maybe it fucking changes again, but there's nothing California could do. But at this point, vote. Like who you dislike, personal likes. All I know is the leader of the free world in our country cannot be a person that cannot walk downstairs without being held, and he cannot finish a sentence. We still have to have power.
Reads pause. Teleprompter.
So it's at this point it's different.
Can't
but
read
yeah,
teleprompter.
that was your reaction was just like, what the fuck? Was it the same as mine? Like, what the fuck just happened when he got
I just none of that made sense. I went and looked at all the stuff the
angles and everything.
Oh, how did that happen? Like
how did they miss it?
How are they that incompetent?
Do you think it's real or you think it's staged?
It's beyond incompetence. What do you mean by staged?
Like people are saying that it's fake, and like, oh, that's fake. It was a setup. I disagree personally.
Fake what?
That's
By the way, fake. So they almost killed him. Fake.
That's look.
Like,
My argument.
He took it. He let them take a shot at him.
I said
with
my argument was
with an
Go ahead.
AR-15, 150 yards,
something like that.
and nip his ear, and he counted on them not missing.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Let's play idiot for a
Thank
idiot 101.
you.
Like I'm not.
I
hey,
really.
bro, I don't know anyone that would take that risk. I got friends that I hit 1,000 yards the first shot from here.
Jeez.
I wouldn't let them shoot my ear from 150 yards.
Like that.
The chance of just one error, like some hiccup on a like
Yeah.
a little hiccup where anything could happen and it'd go through my head. No, thank you. Not a chance in hell. Not gonna happen.
So you're definitely. I see. College did well for you because you're a smart man. Obviously, accounting works. You're doing the math, and that accounting degree works because the math is not mathing when you think it's fake. There's no.
But like, how does the sniper? By the way, it's not normal for a sniper to take his eye out of his shit when he's got a guy in his sight. Why do you do that?
So it's
Like it's like there's a lot of things that aren't normal. Like
it's a weird situation, but what I don't think is they staged a real gunshot. They didn't stage a real gunshot. Like even like I said, if you have a friend that can hit from 1,000 yards, I'd have him shoot me in my arm. At the end of the day, getting shot and getting back up is the concept, right? Why would I let him shoot me in anywhere here and up? Like shoot me in my leg. If I'm gonna fake it, I'll take a leg shot. I'm not letting you shoot me from whatever distance ever, anywhere near my head. So if I'm gonna fake a assassination attempt, I'm gonna get shot in the leg at best by a guy who's perfectly trained. I'm not letting him shoot me.
And I mean, he better have a sniper rifle too. I mean, he's using some.
Yeah, you're using assault rifle.
AR-15.
No, like so. I'm glad somebody has common sense because I've been seeing online. Obviously, my algorithm is probably different than your algorithm. I used to have a lot of people from my culture and a lot of people that don't.
Oh, it's funny how algorithms are too. Like,
The algorithm is fucking nuts. My algorithm is a bunch of idiots saying a bunch of like shit that just. I'd rather debate flat Earth and round Earth and go into that rabbit hole before I debate this. Like, at the end of the day, I'm happy he survived. And I still have people on my Instagram like, oh, you black people that are happy for Trump surviving, you should be ashamed. I'm like, so you want us to you want me to wish him dead? Is that what's your alternative?
Oh, yeah. What do you want alternative? Like we kill our political.
You want
opponents
our country to look that weak that we can kill.
We kill our political opponents.
Yeah, I was like, that's what you want from
okay
us.
now.
But you want our dollar and our country to be stable. I'm thinking to myself, you just don't like when they say think before you press send on like these internet things. I'm just like, man, I have to redo my algorithm because my algorithm must be fucked up if I'm the only one on my own algorithm. Like I got Chuck Zito and other people like that. Like I'm my UFC fighter, people that I follow or follow me, Chuck Zito and a few people, the only ones that have the common sense. And unfortunately, the rest of my algorithm is like a bunch of bullshit. And I'm like, you don't have to like the man, but wishing dead upon somebody,
like
it's weird. It's a weird thing.
Yeah, no, just for a party that
and we're as a country first,
the party that claims to be nonviolent.
Yeah, like it's country first. Fuck all the anything. Country first. He was a sitting president, and for no reason do I want a sitting president assassinated for any reason because it makes our country look weak upon the rest of the world, which are already going back and forth with trying not to look weaker than what we are. So I'm like, it's just weird, but I'm glad I got to take because I'm pretty sure you haven't. I don't think on camera at least anybody's asked you this yet. It's been 4 days. But I do want to get into our segments.
That stuff gets crazy.
I try to get out. I try not to talk too much about that because people are ignorant as fuck.
But it's funny. Did you see the one with that like the girl behind him?
She's like fucking. She has nowhere to put her.
God, I can't put. Like,
he needs to
I'm
fire
glad
her
we have
immediately.
such a trained girl that she can't put her gun away.
I wish her to have a good job, but she should not be in that job. He needs to fire her immediately. She has no idea where her holster is at and how to holster her shit. You have one girl, when shots going off, she's Secret Service. She's ducking, not covering him. She's ducking the fuck out of the way. And it's like, come on. Like you had one job. Take a bullet for the guy. That's pretty much your fucking job in every way and to protect him. Shots go off and she's looking at how to get the fuck out of Dodge. And look, I'm not mad at her. Fight or flight kicks in. It lets you know training is different in real life situations for sure. But yeah, there's a couple people in his crew that he might need to get rid of real soon because they definitely failed.
My thing is, I don't understand how like Cheeto or whatever. She said that they didn't have anybody on that roof because it was slanted, because of the incline of that roof. And like, it was less slanted than the one they had.
He
people
was on. Yeah.
So it was less slanted than the one that they had people on. And
Nothing
people were
is
walking
nothing.
out like a normal. Like why would you? How do you not answer that question better? Why are you not prepared for that question? If just I don't know.
How did you guys miss him when there's obviously people in the crowd screaming, "Hey, there's a guy on the roof."
Oh, they got all sorts
They were
of,
screaming.
There's
a guy on the roof. There's a guy on the roof.
They found him. They said they found him 3 hours before with he came through with through the thing with a rangefinder. Like, how do you not confiscate a rangefinder?
Your algorithm obviously is sending you everything. That's one thing I'm happy. I don't even want to get into it. I'm just happy the man's alive because it's such a weird magic bullet situation. Like, that it's almost stupid that they allow that to happen. I feel like it was so much easier to avoid than to happen. The dude didn't have to work to get that shot off, and that's a problem.
Well, I don't know if it's true, but they say on there that the actual sniper that shot him.
Yeah.
They said he had a stand down order.
Really?
They had him in sight for.
I hope it's not true.
I hope it's not true.
Because it's still like, okay,
they're saying he had a stand down order.
The former president might be safe at that point, but there's still crowds full of people. You got.
Yeah,
you're
gonna okay.
The guy's with an assault rifle and you can hear it. What do you mean stand down?
Like he was not allowed to shoot him.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying, like, what do you mean? Why would you give that order or stand down? Like, would you want to talk to him after he kills a few more people? Yeah. He let off like 8 shots after that first one.
Yeah, well, I think that he supposedly got in trouble. They're saying, I don't know. I guess I shouldn't say it because it's not. It's
sure. Hearsay, but I hope it's not. I hope that's not confirmed because then they got to explain that too. Yeah. There's a lot of things that need to be explained, and it's such a weird, stupid situation.
They're never going to explain everything because it's all confidential. And
yeah, it is. I got something for you to explain. How the hell you fall off a $100 million yacht, Chuck, in San Diego?
I had 2 choices. I had 2 choices: either try to catch myself or take a swim. I didn't have my phone on me, so I took a swim. There you go.
And I don't think anybody's gonna. You're like 220 right now, 240.
About 240.
240. Nobody's gonna be able to grab you. You're gonna pull them in the water with you.
Oh yeah. No, and when I was going to get, that was the funny thing. At the end of the back, how come you could get out of the water? Because the guy handed me his hand. I'm like, okay, I grabbed it, and he's 140 pounds. Like I started pulling on him. He's gonna pull. I'm not pulling him in. I'm like, okay, I'll just wait.
I can swim, so I'll figure it out.
I can swim. I'm good. I mean, I can swim. I grew up near the beach. I'm a swimmer.
Yeah.
I'm good in the water. I like water, but
I'm from San Diego, so I have like a bunch of San Diego channels on there. Yeah. And then obviously between following you and the San Diego channels, for at least a good 6-second scroll, you were my topic of conversation. And then I run into you like a week later. I remember I asked you at UFC 300, same thing. Like, what the hell?
I've always been. Funny thing is, I tell you, I've always been a klutz. And my exes are like, you can't be a klutz. You're an athlete. I said, I'm good when I'm focused.
Yeah.
I don't focus. If I'm not focused, I used to trip. I remember a couple of times that outside the bar when I was working.
Yeah.
I was dead sober, tripped, ended up started doing a couple push-ups. Guy tripped over the blue line.
Playing the game off.
I tripped over the blue line. I don't know why I tripped. Just got my feet, but I'm good at catching myself. But I guess that's how there wasn't anything to catch on to. Like I looked real quick. I'm like, okay, I got to push off.
My son is a klutz. I'm hoping that it's just because he's a kid, but the kid, man, he just. I'm gonna get arrested one day for like child abuse because he gets hurt so much.
The same way he bumps his head into everything. Like I'm like, see, I told you I'm a klutz.
It's in the genes.
That's me. It's in my genes.
I think my son gets it from his mom.
I was good
at for sure. Because look, I was like, she gets mad at me because she's like, they're gonna call CPS on him. Like he has a black eye. You saw him at UFC. The expo, I don't know if you remember, I'll show you the picture, but he had like a big ass band-aid on his face because he had like a damn fighter's gash, like a Nate Diaz gash, because he's at the New York. He stands up and walks into a table, and this is 20. We're waiting for the valet to bring a car to go to expo, and I asked him, we're only here for you, the expo for you. I've been to expos. I'm done with him. Do you want to go to the hospital or you want to go to expo? He's 7. He's never been in. He just got into UFC. He wanted to go to the expo because he wanted to see Brandon Royval. That's his favorite fighter. And so we just put some butterfly Band-Aids on it at CVS and called it a day. It healed up pretty well. But then later on that night, next day, we sitting with my sister, or the same day, he goes in the pool and are at a pool with him, and now his face is scraped up. So he has a whole gash here, scraped face, and this is him. Every couple of months, he has some weird bruises somewhere. And I'm like, man, they're gonna call CPS on us one day because you're such a klutz, and it's crazy. But I love him. I just hope he grows out of it. I'm praying to God he grows out of it.
Yeah.
So
we get better. We get better at it as we get older.
yeah.
It's
So
not as bad.
I'll have him network with Uncle Chuck. But I want to get into the segments. So we've done this once before. We're going to start doing it in the future. First one brought to you by Gadali. So it's a watch company, and they're going to be gifting you with a watch today as well. I don't know anything about watch companies, but the watch is valued at $800,000. How that works, I can't tell you. It's a different version of this one. You'll be gifted. You'll walk out of here with a brand new watch. We made sure I had it here for you. So
Awesome.
coming on a podcast, you know, that
Cool.
works. I think Jackson might have gave you a chain, but we got your watch. But watch or pass by Gadali is our segment. So I'm going to give you different scenarios, and you're going to have to watch one, and you're going to have to pass one. Some will probably be easy, but I try to make them somewhat hard. So first one, watch or pass the return of Ronda Rousey or the return to GSP. So on Channel 2, Ronda Rousey's fighting for the first time again. Channel 3, GSP is return. GSP? Okay. We had a hard time with that yesterday, and I was like, I think if it's GSP, I think, it depends who he fights. Other than that, I think I actually go Ronda Rousey. Depending on who he's fighting, coming back. If he's fighting like the Eagle, Habib, I'd watch that over almost anything because I would love to see that actually come to grabs.
Yeah.
Next one, watch or pass. Dana White and Tito Ortiz in power slap. Dana slaps first. Or your favorite sports team wins the championship this year. Which one you watching? Which one you passing?
Ooh,
I try to make it hard.
that one's tough.
Dana gets to slap first too. So
Oh, I would like to see that. I mean, I would have to go with that. I'm a big Green Bay fan, but we won.
Is that we won
Well,
before?
I got to watch them win before, so
So it was a tough one
yeah.
for me making the question, but I have Charger bolts tattooed on my shoulders. So and Chargers haven't won shit. So
I was there with that.
Don't
I was
tell
there
me
with
the 49ers one. Lorenzo Neal,
when they lost to the Patriots.
Patriots.
When they was that was the year they were supposed.
That was when
the year they
So
should've-
Marlon McCree catches a interception to end the game, runs it back.
Your coach, I thought, caused that.
Was that Schottenheimer at the time or North
I
Turner?
don't know. I don't remember who the coach was.
We're
but I thought
14-2
it was
that season. We're taking on. Hey, look, at least we got some win in the hot sun. Thank you. See, that's why you got to crew people.
But
Now you guys will figure it out. But that game is. See, you're bringing up old stuff, Chuck. That hurts my feelings because we were supposed to win. We were winning.
We had sat there at sales with Lorenzo. I think
Rest
we
in peace,
finished a
Sal.
bottle of Patron apiece.
Lorenzo Neal. I love Lorenzo. Peter, he doesn't get enough love because fullbacks are not like prevalent these days, but Lorenzo Neal was a gangster. But I choose the Chargers because they haven't won anything. Chargers are in the Super Bowl and they're winning, and Dana White and Tito Ortiz are on there, and I can't like skip channels. I got to watch my Chargers, but it's even a hard choice because we know the relationship. Well, you know more than I would. Dana and Tito, it feels like it makes your and Tito's relationship like you guys are best friends at that point.
Yeah.
I don't know. Dana was like, he hated that guy. So next one, I try to make it hard again. The return of Brock Lesnar or the return of Conor McGregor. Which one you watch if they're both fighting at the same time? Which one you tune in? Conor? Conor. So
Because I think Lesnar fought for business, and Conor, I think he actually likes to fight too.
he's an entertainer.
He
loves.
He's a fighter.
I mean, when you make $100 million,
he's a martial artist.
when you make $100 million and you still fight, and money's not an issue anymore, and you still go to a camp, you like fighting.
Yeah.
But Lesnar, shout out to Lesnar, he's a great guy. But
I like Lesnar too. But
I tune into Conor as well.
He didn't like it.
I tune into Conor as well. Yeah, he gets hit and he like curled up. He'll curl up.
He didn't like. I don't think he liked.
He was just a physical specimen. He was a physical specimen.
Yeah, he's just a stud.
Yeah. So next one, this one's probably a little bit easier, I guess. Jon Jones, DC3, or Jake Paul, first time in the MMA cage. Which one you tuning in for?
Who's Jake Paul fighting?
Pick somebody, Masvidal, Nate Diaz in the cage, Any of these guys, Sean Strickland, somebody he's been talking shit to.
Oh, I'd love to see him fight Strickland.
I think that'd be great because it's not going to the ground. So these guys in there.
That'd be funny.
So you're taking Jake Paul in the cage?
What?
You're taking Jake Paul or Jon Jones DC3?
Oh, I don't want to watch that fight again.
Now you're done. We've
No,
seen
no,
that
no.
twice.
I've seen it.
So
I don't want to see
yeah,
that again.
I would love to watch it, but not over Jake Paul. Like if they're fighting, I'm tuning in. Obviously, DC maybe, but I don't see it. Unfortunately, I think Jon Jones is. DC's a great guy, but there's sometimes people have your number, and Jon Jones had his and everybody else's. So, so that's. I think that's where we're gonna go. Last one. If you had to watch or pass, UFC or fights, knockouts on highlights for like 10 hours in a row, or game shows like Family Feud and all that 10 hours in a row. Which one you watching? Which one you passing?
UFC.
You watching
I'm
UFC?
a fight fan.
Fight fan. Okay, I just gotta make sure.
I'm a fight fan.
Some
I
people
love
have like
fights,
guilty pleasures. You never know.
Oh, I have a lot, but
Hey, we're on
Let's not
camera. We
go
can
there.
share. Look, I need more takes. Is best. We said no. There's certain topics we want to talk about. You didn't say anything about guilty pleasures. All right, so that's Watch Your Pass with Chuck Liddell. I think we're like opposite on half of them, but that's to let you know everybody has different opinions. We have
and it's okay.
Watch
By
Your
the way,
Pass
it's
by
okay. You
Gaddafi.
can have a different opinion.
Absolutely, you're not wrong for somebody else being right. It has nothing to do with anything. Sometimes it's your personal life is that. Next, we're gonna do Sip Happens by Gelato Pure Water. Drink Gelato. So there we go. Let's get that. So Sip Happens by Gelato Pure Water. Drink Gelato. Shout out to the sponsors for making sure we're all hydrated for this. And they have so many other things going on. Gelato Tequila. I don't know if you're driving, so I felt like Gelato Tequila wasn't a good one.
Yeah, I don't.
Different
I
occasion.
don't drink and drive.
Different occasion.
I'll
We'll
try-
do
I love my tequila,
we'll
guys,
do
so-
Sip Happens with Gelato Tequila next time. So we're gonna do brain teasers.
Okay.
If you don't get it
I
right,
got hit in the head for a living. You know that, right?
I understand that. If you don't get it right, you take a sip. Right? Obviously, it's water, so it's an easy sip.
This
So-
makes it real easy. Or perfect.
You take a sip, and you if you want to do a shout out and be like Gelato. Every time you take a sip, Gelato.
Okay.
If you get it right, I take a sip and I donate $100 to a charity of your choice. So I'm going to go first. You get one. Ask the audience, just in case. I'm trying to donate something here, Chuck.
Okay, I'm trying
So,
to
right.
help us out.
So first one. And remember, these are trick questions, so you got to really try to think technical. The normal answer is probably not the right answer. So, where are the biggest potatoes grown in the world? There's only one technically right answer.
Where are they? The biggest potatoes
Grown in the world. Where? You can ask the audience. I'll give you ask the audience for all of them, just so I can get everybody at one time. Sounds like you're about to take a sip.
That does. 'Cause I'm trying to think.
No pressure. No pressure. It's just the kids, Chuck. It's just the kids. Just a donation to the kids. What does that mean to you, man?
No. I know it's not going to be the one that comes to mind.
Yes, it's not Idaho.
I know. Yukon potatoes? Yukon potatoes?
In the ground.
In the ground.
In the ground. There we go. Take a sip. Say gelato.
Gelato.
All right.
Well, I'm trying to think of brands of potatoes. Like,
Next one. Let's see.
okay, I didn't know we were going silly.
Yeah,
Okay,
so
go.
it's
Well, I
So,
got
brain
that.
teasers,
Now I'm ready.
okay.
Now I'm ready.
this one should be easy. You're driving a bus. You're an accountant, so there's 50 people on the bus. You drop off 25 in your first stop. Next stop, you pick up 10. Next stop, you drop off 5. Final stop, pick up 1. What's the bus driver's name?
Chuck.
My man. $100 to a charity of your choice. You're doing the math. You're like,
I thought he was going to try to do something with the driver.
yeah,
Not
gelato.
Not counting the driver.
I told you that one should be a layup. That was kind of easy. All right, this one's a little bit harder. There's 6 girls, 6 apples in a basket. Each girl takes an apple. How is there still one in the basket? There's only one possible answer for this.
Wait, say it one more time.
So there's 6 girls, and there's 6 apples in a basket. Each little girl takes an apple, yet there's still one apple in the basket. How is that? There's only one technical answer.
Girls holding the basket.
My man, Chuck Liddell is not playing games. Gelato. It's warm water right now. So it's not. It's actually a little bit different because it's warm. But hey, for warm water, Gelato's killing it.
That is a good sign because it actually is warm and it's not.
Yeah,
bad.
it's warm and it's not bad.
Warm and you're like, this is actually good.
So
you're good.
and I'm a very honest person. I would say if it was nasty, I'm honest. I don't care sponsor or not. I would be like, yeah, we got to fix this shit. But it's actually not bad.
They don't sponsor me, so
there we go.
Yeah.
Not yet. You know, we can talk. Next one. Let's see. I'm trying to make it a little bit harder, since you're better at this than you play long con. You're a con man. What's a good brain teaser? Okay. How many times can you take 3 away from 24?
Once.
Fucking Chuck Liddell is on point. Gelato. My wife's laughing at me. I don't like that. I hear it in the background because she got all these wrong. So there it goes. So she's like probably happy somebody's stumping me. So I had like 4 or 5. There's like harder ones that I didn't come up with because I thought
you thought you'd give me those.
Yeah, I was trying to give you kind of layups, but it's too easy.
I try to play that off because I did that. I was on Big Brother.
Okay.
I played. What's her name? Malgo used to be on Apprentice with Trump.
I can't
think of her name right now.
I can't think it. We'll think of it as soon as the show's over.
As soon as the show's over. But she was like playing chess with everybody, and I was trying to play like a dumb jock on the thing. So she's playing chess with everybody, like beating these guys. I'm like, oh man, I can't take this anymore. I'm like, I'll play you, and I'm like, oh okay. I kind of know how to play. We'll just play. She tried to do that. I mean, she's sitting there talking shit the whole time for like 10 minutes about how she's kicking my ass. Now I'm gonna lose that, and then I go, checkmate. I was in the chess club in high school, so I'm like I used to be good. I don't play much anymore. I'm not very good anymore. By the way, I'm not very good anymore. I used to be a long time ago.
You have to be as clever as a fox to outwit the trap. It's simple how it works. So you're playing the long con. It's like those pool sharks that go in there and suck at pool until they hustle you. But let's see, I got another one. Let's see if this one's any harder. This one is more of a just you have to put thought into it, not technically a trick question. So
I like the trick questions.
Why, after studies, did they show that there is more? I gotta word this right to see, make sure, because you're obviously smarter than you put on. They did studies. More soldiers died in the past but being shot in the head versus being shot in the head now. Why is that? Why would you think that?
What do you mean by past?
Like let's say World War II versus a war now. More soldiers that are shot in the head passed away then versus passed away now, even though the weapons are more advanced. Because
people are more one-on-one. They're more on the ground. Everything's more mobilized, more moved to different other things. There's other ways of being shot. They're shooting more. You guys, you're talking about trench warfare versus guys fighting, or bombing places. Which probably kills a lot of people, but not getting shot in the head. You're getting blown up.
That's a very good technical answer, but I'll say we both sip on this one since, again, this was a weird question. The simple answer was back in the day, they didn't. We have the helmets. The helmets. People get shot in the head now, and it's more injuries than death because
I
the
didn't
helmets.
know that the helmets help.
Yeah.
help that
So
much.
again, it was one of those weird answers, but I'm trying to figure out something crazy to get you to sip. As it doesn't look good if you're not sipping. Anybody have any trick questions or any brain teasers
No,
you
we
can
don't
think
need any.
of?
I've been drinking. I've been sipping the whole time, so we're good.
All right. So, Wolf, Iceman, we got Idle Time Feud with the Iceman, Chuck Liddell. It's going to be played a little bit different. I don't have Steve Harvey's $1 billion team, so mine is very makeshift. We made it last night. Different than Steve Harvey's is I don't have graphics. We're gonna give you 3 options because all answers are right, and your way to get it right is which the number 1 answer.
Okay.
And so then we'll give you the questions. I got to try to remember the damn questions. I'm going to peek because, again, it was 4 o'clock in the morning. So first question I do know for a fact. What is something that you can call a man and chili?
A man and chili.
Chili, the food. The 3 options are meaty, spicy, and hot. What's the number 1 answer, Chuck?
Hot.
The answer is hot. You win that. This is actually the answer you got right. You number 1 answer on Family Feud in real life.
That's awesome.
That's crazy that you don't remember.
No, that's what
He's
came to
like,
my head. I was gonna say hot, but let me see what. Okay.
He said hot, got number 1 answer. Tyron said spicy, and it was there, and the rest of his team let him down.
Yeah.
And I don't know what they said to him. You should see his
Say
face.
some
Go back
weird
and
stuff,
watch
man.
it. You look at his face, and like when he's looking at him, like you just ruined my like number 1 answer. It was hilarious. You were smiling like a damn Cheshire cat, man, in that episode.
Some of those answers, like, what the fuck?
All right, another question that was asked during that episode, but to your opponents, what is the first thing a woman is going to have at her party when she signs her divorce paperwork? The options are friends and family, strippers, alcohol.
Alcohol.
The answer is strippers. So you get that wrong. We're donating 100 so far,
Yeah, they won that one.
but strippers. I would have put alcohol too. That was my answer.
But
But apparently strippers. And my
Yeah.
wife got that right when I asked her yesterday. I'm like, obviously women, strippers first. I'm thinking friends and everything.
Like, yeah, if I get divorced, I'm like, we call it friends up. Like,
So,
then we go.
it's a tough question for a man, I guess. So next question. Oh, this one is damn, it's a layup. So I guess we're all donating. What was Chuck Liddell's fastest knockout time? 153, 138, or 118?
118.
All right. I was like, just in case the other ones are hard, we give him 1 knockout. You get 40 points. Yeah, I knew you were gonna know that one. Like if you didn't know that one, I was like, he really's been punched pretty hard. So the next one is name something you get caught in. The 3 options are rain, lie, or a trap. What's the number 1 answer out of those 3?
Get caught in lie.
Lie. The answer is rain. The number 1 answer. It was I think voted like 30, and then lie was like 28.
People got to be honest, right?
Yeah. That's it. Liars are not telling the truth.
Yeah, they're saying rain.
All right. Let me see. What was the last one? Oh, this is a good one. This was made up by your fans, and I let them vote on Instagram for this one. So this is real consensus. What new school, this generation striker, it can compete or take out Chuck Liddell in his prime? The options were Izzy, Poetan, or no one. What do you think your fans chose?
My fan chose no one.
Fucking no one. You got them right. It was I'm not gonna lie, Poetan was up there. There was the vote.
But he's my guy too.
Yeah, I mean, look.
He trains with Glover, man. He's a stud, man.
You can't take away from the dude what he's doing for the UFC, what he's doing for himself, what he's doing at his age.
And for me, like I said, he's a better kickboxer than me. Just like what's his name was Overeem, the better kickboxer. I think that the thing that could help me with that was I
You're a wrestler.
wrestle him.
Yeah. Use your strengths. Use your strengths.
You mix it up. Although
All right.
he just doesn't care. Like,
Yeah.
He doesn't change his striking because of your wrestling.
I mean, Poton's a stud. He's a stud, and there's no. I mean, somebody could try to say something bad about him, but what can you say? He takes care of his kids. He's a happy guy. He trains hard. He's willing to take any and all combatants. He's willing to cut weight. He's willing to make weight.
I think he's planning on going up.
You don't think so?
I think he is.
You think he is? I don't see no reason why he wouldn't.
Yeah, why not?
You walk around naturally 225,
He walks around
230,
naturally like 230.
230. Yeah, so he puts on 10 pounds if he wants to,
I don't think he
and
needs to. I think he goes in at 230. Goes comfortable.
I mean his left hand, he punches way above his weight class anyway.
I'd say, and fight if he's gonna fight Jones, just stay there.
Yeah, I mean
That's the fight. That's the only fight.
Aspinall's a great wrestler, so that's a tough matchup.
Yeah, I wouldn't
So-
take that. If I went up, I'd go up to fight Jones.
Yeah, I go up to fight Jones because it's a legendary matchup, and why not?
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one.
Let Jones take
otherwise going up to heavyweight.
Let Jones take care of Aspinall and Stipe, and then you wait it out. You defend your belt a few more times and knock out Anklev and all these guys. You go up and you make that fight, and you're already the face of the UFC at this point, and you become the generational face of Jon Jones. It doesn't matter if you win or lose, but I think the matchup works at heavyweight. And so it's low budget on the production. My man's gonna make sure it looks a little bit better. He's gonna do a graphic, but we appreciate you coming out here, Chuck. We try to make sure you have some type of good time and do something different because podcasts are very cookie cutter. Different questions, but the same. And I try to do something different. Cybertruck's already different. Lakeview is already different. Time Feud. It's a one and done. Nobody else will ever do this. This is just for you, just because you lost to the damn WWE, and we had to give you some type of win. But Chuck got his win back. Bella Twins, don't worry about it. Chuck wins at Time Feud. But it was good having you, man. Iceman, appreciate it. I appreciate you coming out. Chuck Liddell, the Wolf, first podcast ever powered completely by Cybertrucks. We have our sponsors out here. You made a long drive. You honored your word. We talked about word is everything. So, and your grandfather would be proud of the man you've become. I don't have to meet him to know this. I'm proud to be able to share this, the stage we made up for you, with you. And I know I'll run into you in a lot of different places. Obviously, we keep running into each other, and hopefully we run into each other is a lot more, friendly than just simple acquaintances. Because I do appreciate you coming out here.
Thank you.
So Chuck Liddell, Out of Time Podcast. Shout out to our sponsors: Gadali, Gelato, Suja, Organics, Pizza Bar and Lounge. You actually follow them on Instagram, by the way. They were going to send us pizza so you could take a bite. But 45-minute drive from Laguna was like too much. So they definitely, it's up to you, but they would definitely love you to say, shout out Pizza Bar Lounge in Laguna. But you do that if you want to do that.
Pizza Bar Lounge in Laguna. Good food over there. Good pizza.
Good shit. So they're making, we got White Rabbit, definitely sponsoring us. Real Deal Talk podcast in San Diego. He sent me his production guy, his cameraman. He had me on. My text about 20 minutes ago is see if he would love to come on mine. I was like, we can talk about that off camera. But shout out to everybody that helped put this together. Appreciate you. And it was great having you, Chuck.
Thanks, brother.